All right, let's start. Yeah. Okay, stream's underway. Let's have some sandwich fun time. There we go. Cool.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for joining in. Like this is I'm really excited about this. This will be fun.
You should be. We're fun.
How many of these have you done? Like the interviews?
Oh, that's a great. Yeah. I've estimated it to be definitely over 100 by now because it's been 2 years and I'm trying to think. Like we did it every week for 52 weeks. And we're about to enter year 3. So yeah, I think that's got to be at least 100. At this point, it's probably about 100.
That's awesome. Good.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, it's a hell of a run. Like it's been a good time.
Yeah.
I have an interesting sandwich related question for either of you. Like, what is the best sandwich in the city that you live, or in the area that you live?
I was gonna say.
Bro, that's hard. I heckin' love Greek food, and so I really like Tino's gyro. I don't pronounce it, but yeah, I like that their lamb gyro.
That's pretty good.
We don't have much here in New Jersey like that. Well, you have like all your regular things, but we don't have any like mom and pop like oh, have you ever gotten the blankety blank? You know, like we have like pizza in Trenton is kind of good. Like North Jersey, you can get a really good sandwich, like Hero and all that kind of stuff. But
that's what it is, Hero, not gyro.
Yeah, Hero.
Yeah, not gyro.
Yeah, like,
it's not gyro.
Like in Casino, they shot the guy. They shot the guy that had the Hero sandwich.
That's funny. Good times. No, let's.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that thing.
Yeah, some of these are incredible. Muppet, so good to see you. Frankenstein, so good to see you. Pork roll, absolutely. Decibel, so good to see you too. I met Decibel in person about a year ago when we were all at TwitchCon in San Diego. Yeah, it's good to see you.
Really, bro? I was at that one, and I don't know. I did not meet you in person, but I was at that one.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm so sorry I didn't cross paths. Like that will not happen again. Next time I see you, I'll definitely know you're there. I'll definitely introduce myself. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Crrissa, you had you went to a dynamite TwitchCon in Paris. That looked amazing.
It was wild, yo. Crazy. I drank a lot of alcohol there.
I could feel that.
No.
Oh, I love it. All right. Let me just see if I can grab all my sandwich materials together for the sandwich. I'll be back in like a second. Would you both be good to entertain the chat for a second?
Oh. How could we possibly?
Scotty, let's just be silent the entire time.
Right, just awkward.
That's gonna be great. That'd be great.
We could have like this awkward conversation.
Oh, yeah.
So I got this rash, and
internet fetishes. Let's just really fuck up his stream. Let's just like really, really make a meal out of it. Intended. Oh man. Well, we're glad to see you guys in the chat. We got Decibel. Oh my gosh, Decibel coming in here. Is that Frankenstein?
Yeah. That's one of my he's my old mod. He's not even that old. I mean, like, but he was yeah. There's a story.
What is this? Tell me about that.
Frankenstein was actually a guitar student of mine when he was like 13 years old. And then he kind of went off and went to college and all that kind of stuff. And then like 15 years later, I came on Twitch. He's like, I think you're my guitar teacher.
You told me that story. I didn't know he was one of your moderators. That's hilarious.
Well, he did, because I didn't know anything about streaming at the time, and he helped me through pretty much the most awkward period of my streaming life ever. So
I've been so awkward during all of my stream times. That's part of my brand.
So, yeah. Frankenstein. I called him way too many times when something didn't work.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I told my first moderator, who's like an OG moderator, it was Drackling, and I
Mhm.
called him so many times, and I would
Right.
have like video calls with him to the point where he did Google Chrome desktop. So he would actually take
Mm.
over my computer, and I was like, I
Right.
am giving this stranger too much power, but I don't
Yes.
care because I want to fix this problem.
Just make it work, please. Why is it doing this?
Yep. That's
So
what happened, and I luckily have never been doxxed. That is not an invitation, chat. I have never been doxxed. I've never been swatted. It is surprising at this point.
right.
I need to have way more security than I do. It's unfortunate. What's
What's
up,
up?
Bob? I beat you to it.
Right? Can
Speaking
they can hear us, right?
Yeah, they can hear us. What if
Okay.
they can't? What if they can't and
We've
like
just been-
something went wrong?
we're supposed to be typing.
Yeah, we're supposed to be typing in the chat. No big deal. It's whatever. Oh man. Yeah. Oh, just hanging around. Just hanging around. Can we hear us? I think we can hear us.
Oh god.
I mean, I like to listen to the sound of my own voice. Come on now. Let's be honest.
Not yet.
No, you're not supposed to be able to see us. It's supposed to be like a slow reveal.
Right?
We're building the anticipation, and I am that sandwich on screen right now. That's me. That's my doppelganger in the sandwich universe.
right?
There you go. All I see is sandwiches. Bob, you
Right.
need to make sure that you don't also smell burning toast. Okay? Go ahead and check those symptoms, baby.
Right. Our video screens are broken up into jigsaw puzzles, and every hour they take one piece away until we're finally in the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
until we're finally part of the sandwich verse.
The sandwich verse.
Oh man. Wise guy. See, yeah, Austin does have some good Sammys. I just don't go to many Sammy places. That
Same.
burnt smell is just Davy's.
Same. Hey, Dead Girlie's here.
Hey Dead Girlie, how you doing? It's so good to see you. Dead Girlie is your moderator, but she's also the moderator for the last person that I rated today, who's in Athens, Greece.
Oh, you rated Mano? That's awesome. He's
Mano.
incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, he was neat. I liked him a lot. I couldn't stay for very long because I wanted to like actually do stuff in between, like
Yep.
go exercise. So I had to focus on that. But yeah, no, he's great. That was
He's
really
like the other guy on Twitch that has a D voice like me.
yeah. It was neat. It was neat seeing a lower voice like that. Maker
Yeah.
also, I think, is a baritone. Maker,
Raiders on the storm.
yes.
Yeah, he's good. He's awesome.
Ah, sweet. My dad is here. Papa Mimrick. It's like a desert for all the sandwich is there.
That's your dad? That's amazing.
That's my dad. That's my
What's
dad.
up?
He's probably gonna spank us in trivia. If we get a
Oh.
hype train, we can do
Oh,
trivia
God.
together. And Davey has created music trivia for the hype train if we get it today. And it'll be Scotty and I against all you in chat. And my dad is a trivia king.
Oh,
guys.
God. He's like,
so we got some competition, bro. Yeah.
oh, boy.
see? Look at my dad in the chat.
yeah,
he's already getting tantalized. He's excited.
He's like cracking his fingers, ready to go with the keyboard.
He is so ready to go. He is ready.
Mm.
Hey, I'm back. Who's ready to go?
Hey yo. What's up?
What's up? What's up? Hey, Alistair, what's going on? Can we give a shout out to Alistair UK, friends? That Bernie smell is just Davy's. Alistair. That's our. Alistair's been with this has been a fan of this program since the start, so he's always good. He's one of our best trolls, aka good
There
friends.
you go.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
All right, folks, let's do this. Hello, Davey. I said nothing. Right. All right, let's do it. Happy holidays, everybody. So nice to see you. Hi, everyone. Season's greetings. Nice to see you. My name's Davey. This is The Sandwich Show. Nice to see you all here. Before we start, I just want to say thank you to a lot of people. We got two awesome guests on our show with us tonight. But let me first say thank you to so many people. Y'all are popular. Look, I mean, you are popular people. Tuli Curry, Greg Zotic, Jackson's. Oh, Jackson's I think was from when I was at the meetup on Saturday. It's great to see Jackson's. Callsign Scarecrow, Frankenstein, Dead Girly, and Jules Music. Thank you all for the follows. Incredibly kind of you. Thank you. So now let's go introduce our two guests of the evening. On the upper left corner, we have Scotty Makes Music. On the upper right corner, we have our friend Crrissa the Cyberbard, 2 R's. Welcome in, friends. How's it going tonight?
I mean, it's pretty dang good. I got a Santa off camera. I got 2 friends, and I mean, come on now.
Not the copper phrase, but it's heckin' good.
I love it.
Heckin' good, bro.
Right. I don't know where I heard that from, but
no idea.
I dig it. I can't. Folks, I do want to say that our 2 friends tonight are part of a really, really great project that has been really a big part of the Twitch landscape in the last month. The Collabamajig Christmas Originals 2023 album, which was produced by Callsign Scarecrow. And our friends tonight collabed on a song which was dynamite. It's a great song. We'll talk more about it as we go along. But in addition to that, they're also incredible musicians, really talented people. And I urge you all to follow them on Twitch. Here are the links to follow them if you're not already. There are the links. So, you know, we were just talking about this album coming together. Friends, I mean, if we get into it, I think the first question I have is, how did you both get selected to come together? Or were you already just thinking of doing going into the project together as a team? What was the story behind it?
It's randomly, yeah.
Really? We got pulled from a hat, and now, granted, they put producers in one hat, and then they put singers / like performers in another hat. So they made it so that it was easy to pair up, and so you knew that you were going to have production at some point. And so Scotty, I'm assuming, that literally made all of the instrumentals for this track, was the producer type, and I was more of the I can sing stuff type. And
you can indeed. Yeah, that's awesome. That's really wild how that came together. I mean, Bill, so good to see you. Thank you for the 9-month resub, by the way. Nice to see you, Big Bill Hendo. I hope you're hanging in there.
What's up, Big Bill?
Nice to see you.
Big Bill. Let's go.
It's a good friend. Who owns 2 hats in this economy, says Brett. That's fair. But that was definitely happening a lot for the production of this album. So then the question is, I assume that this is the first time the 2 of you have collaborated before on a project.
Yep.
Wow.
It is.
Right.
Now, Scotty,
like when they picked the artists that do it, and then we kind of found each other on our social media, and we hung out on each other's streams and stuff like that, and then we ended up having a Zoom call, and it's like, so you like music? And it was really fun at the same time.
Yeah.
But it was like, no, we didn't really know that much about each other, but we just started up, we just began, and it was great. It was awesome.
That's amazing how well you hit it off. That's incredible fortune, but it's also very serendipitous. It's really but
Totally.
You know, you look back on it though, and I think see how much fun it is to hang out on either of your streams, and I'm so glad this happened, whether it was by chance, as you mentioned, or otherwise. Like, it is very cool to see 2. I mean, I don't know if I would even say like they're different. I think you have things in common too, but it's really cool how you both have a style, different styles, I suppose, and and they've really come together. And I mean, Scotty, we talked about how you produced you made a lot of the instrumentation for the track, your guitars and percussion and things. And I also know you've been working with Ableton. Was that put to use as you were producing the tracks for this album, or the track?
I didn't. I actually did the whole thing on Reaper, which is just another report. And I use Ableton just to loop things, like, you know. But if I'm gonna like do something that I'm gonna be doing over and over and over again, I use Reaper to just straight up record something. And you know, I got together with Crrissa on the Zoom call, and she's like, I kind of want to hear something like this. And then she would send me things of her just kind of like scatting her ideas. I'm like, oh man, let's go. I totally understood what she was going for. So it made it easy. It was actually really easy to just come up with something. So it was very cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, and one of the
Yeah.
things you talk about, Davey, like how we like our streams aren't similar, but they're not dissimilar. Like we
Right.
have a lot of commonality. And Scotty and I, when we met, it's like, first of all, he has I think it's your grandmother, right? Or that does the barbershop quartet
Right.
arrangements.
My
So
mother.
like, it was your mother. Okay, so his mother does barbershop quartet arrangements, and I so heavily am a choir nerd and a choir person. I've been in professional choirs ever since I was in middle school. So like it was a huge, huge asset to have Scotty on my team because he not only understood like how to make a rockin' song because he has been in the cover band and done that stuff with his career. It was like he has the rock and roll, he has the voice leading that he can write, and he can write a barbershop like harmony where Santa and a little kid are singing barbershop harmonies, which is hilarious and
Right.
so good. And when we went to that barbershop section, the first time that we had like finished the whole song, I played it for my husband, and I remember him like listening to it, got to the barbershop part, and he goes like just because you can't help but be like, what a freaking left turn as far as the genre. And I loved it, and I thought it was so like anything Scotty gave me, it was wild because I'd be like, ooh, what if we do like a grease lightning, like ba-na-na-na-na-na-na. He was like, boom, got it. And he made the track, and he'd give these chunks back to me. And I was like, this is literally what I envisioned when I was giving you this information in our Zoom call. Like, it blew my mind how I would just describe something or like give him like a little like lick of something with my piano, like, playing or whatever. And he'd come back and just be like, done. Here it is. Like crying over here.
Let's go. Well, you made it easy too. So I don't know. It just worked out. It all just worked out. It just worked out.
We had a lot of complementary things in our upbringing and in our musical kind of like sphere of like where we came from. So there was a lot of crossover, which was really neat. It was cool.
Right.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, it is really cool how that came together. I think the song has a lot going for it. I mean, it's fun. We knew that. It kind of it's about the idea that naughty kids deserve Christmas too. It's a bit of a throwback, It kind of reminds me of songs like "I'm Getting Nothing for Christmas" or "I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas" and things like that. And then, but it's also like musically, it also kind of reminds you of certain things, and it's a very, very well put together piece. And honestly, you could play this at grocery stores and like shopping malls. Like it'd be great. People will get into it.
I have played it at the grocery store.
Let's go.
Good.
I love that.
Right? All these knows who I am.
Yeah. That is really cool. I think you got touched on it a little bit, but what inspired what the song was musically? Like what was the inspiration as far as like other artists you've heard or other Christmas tunes you've heard?
Right off the bat, I had an idea. Like I wanted it to be musical theater.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted it to be rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted it to be big and boisterous and everything that wasn't a Christmas ballad. If Scotty had come to me and said, I want a slow Christmas ballad, I would have said, please can we reconsider something else? That was the one thing that I didn't want. And so I wanted it to be everything that usually is, with this beautiful like legato lines. I wanted something completely different than that.
Yeah.
I came in. No, first of all, I was inspired by "Death Is Just Around the Corner."
Okay.
With the "Dear Santa, I am writing sincerely to you" is basically my daughter's getting married. I can't believe it's true. She doesn't tell her parents before she says I do. It's the very beginning of Andrew Lipa's Death's Just Around the Corner.
Mm-hmm.
Basically using that kitschy kind of musical theater like introduction that is like kind of secco accompanied, so like kind of lightly accompanied, almost recitative sounding. I knew I wanted that. And then I knew I wanted to be rock and roll. And then we also talked about there being influences from Another Brick in the Wall. by Pink Floyd, and we even tossed around the idea of having like a guitar solo and then like a whole scene where kids were like screaming in the background. Which, granted, could I put that all on Scotty in like 2 months? Like, I was like, okay, so we're gonna make an orchestrational album by ourselves. It's gonna be great. Just hang in there, Scotty. But I had a lot of influences from musical theater that I know, from rock and roll, from like Pink Floyd and stuff like that I wanted to put in there and I wanted to shove in there.
That's awesome.
I think a lot of musicians, they go through life, and even if they haven't done something in musical theater, they always like it, and they appreciate the opportunity to finally being able to try something like that. So that's exactly how I felt about it. I'm like, wait a minute, I get to write like a show tune kind of song with Crrissa. Yeah. I'm like, yes, let's go. You know, like it's awesome. I love the opportunity to try to do something that I've never done before.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Super fun.
That is really cool. And you mentioned the wall, and the mall definitely has big time, elements of musical theater in it. It's an incredible story. And so
we got halfway through, we were brainstorming, like she kind of knew what she wanted to say with the lyrics in the beginning, writing to Santa. And then I said, well, what if Santa has skeletons in his closet too, and he suddenly relates to this girl? And we looked at each other like on the Zoom call. We're like, oh my God, there it is.
Yeah, it was like doinks. Like there were so many times during this songwriting process where both of us looked at each other on Zoom and we were like, doinks.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. Right. That is
flawed Santa that punches somebody in the head. Yep.
So funny. I thought that was hilarious.
I did too.
Like he would add these ideas and then he'd be like, "Oh, it'd be funny if he said this." Ooh, it'd be like Scotty is such a good enabler for the totally batshit crazy stuff I want to do, because he'll be like, ooh, what if we do this and this, and like he'll take the fence and just put it higher and higher and be like, jump this. Right. I'm like, okay, it's fun.
We're joking that we're writing a whole musical together.
Yep, it's true.
I think you should. Like, I don't think that should be a joke. I think that needs to happen. Like, I want this. Like, and then
we'll get right on it. We'll get right on it.
That'd be fun. I love it. That's really cool. Now you mentioned it took about 2 months to put that together.
I think, was it a little bit more than 2 months? How much was it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. It was one of those where I thought we had a little bit more time than we did, because we had to get it done by like the end of like November.
Yeah.
And so you're like, this has nothing to do with Christmas. We have to have it way done before Christmas. So it kind of crept up on us like, ooh, we got to get rocking on this thing. But we never in danger of getting behind on it. We just had to focus and just finish it up. And we're usually like ping ponging things. Like I would know once I sent this to her, she would just do her parts and then vice versa. Oh, we would go back and forth that way. Yeah, it was great. It was like, yeah, let's go.
Big time kudos to both of you for putting that together. I'll try to play that at some point later in the stream so that everybody can, just in case you haven't heard it by now, we can familiarize everyone with the tune. So it's pretty amazing stuff.
School of Rock, that's so cool.
There you go, Muppets. I like it. Let me catch up on chat.
Right? Go sign on that, Muppets.
That'd be fun. That is actually.
Could you imagine?
I'm surprised that hasn't been done already. School of Rock, but I think it's a great idea. Yeah.
There is the School of Rock musical, isn't there?
I thought so too.
Right.
Yeah.
I work at the School of Rock. Literally.
Yep. I used to work at the school.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice. Big Bill Hundo, amazing synergy between you two, right? Like, I'm impressed. This chemistry is just
surprising. It's very unlikely. You're just like, people from two different worlds, but it's like there is a lot of crossover and there's a lot of similar patterns and similar exploration through music. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go and bring in one of our favorite segments here on the channel. And before I do, a few comments from the chat.
Is it music theory? I'm kidding.
We already have to bring our friend that EFOT guy to help with that part. In addition to music theory, let's bring it in, folks. Listen, I think I do better than I used to on it. I think I would still lose badly to both of you, but listen, but I love the concept. Folks, it is time for here we go. Oh, sandwich of the week. Got a little lost there. Too excited about this collab. Friends, it is that time where we get to present our sandwich that we're going to have tonight. And who wants to go first? Scotty, Crrissa, would you like to start us off with your sandwich this week?
Listen, I've been hankering. It's right here. I want it. It needs to be eaten, and it is a turkey and provolone from Jersey Mike.
Oh, that looks
It is Mike's Way. It is toasted twice, and it smells heckin' good.
That looks great. Phenomenal choice, Crrissa.
I don't have a sandwich with me. I don't have a sandwich.
Oh, it's all right. No worries.
Too bad. You're gonna have to
you know what?
eat,
You know
Scott.
my sandwiches lately though. This is my thing, and it's old school. It's old school, but we got a recipe to make grilled cheese sandwiches, but you use like actual mozzarella, not just like regular cheese, like not like Velveeta or whatever on it. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good.
That does sound
like
good.
homemade. It's like homemade. It's old school, but that would be my sandwich of this fall. That would be like I've had like 30 of them, obviously.
But right on. I mean, you can't go wrong with a grilled cheese. Like that's a great call.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
It's like pizza. It's even bad grilled cheese is still good.
Absolutely.
Right.
Let me show everybody what I have tonight. So here it is. My sandwich of the evening is holiday ham, kind of. It's a honey baked ham on sourdough bread with spicy Colby Jack and some mayonnaise. If you can see that. That's my sandwich tonight. And then I've got some kettle potato chips with it. I wanted some naughty in this sandwich. I wanted some naughty in the sandwich too, so I ended up getting some spicy Colby. And yeah. Decibel says, oh, for anyone that likes blue cheese, a blue cheese grilled cheese on rye is amazing.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Right.
It does sound amazing. I'm pro blue cheese. Not everybody likes it, but I'm a fan.
I can love moldy cheese. Are you joking? Give me that moldy cheese.
Let it go. That's amazing. Yeah. No, that's all right. I mean, the sandwich segment is always an option, never a mandate. So let's enjoy. Yeah. Great call though with the Jersey Mikes.
Oh my gosh, I'm just out over here, man. You know, some streamers don't like eating on stream, and I'm like, why not? It's literally a human thing. Like Brad Pitt always eats in his roles, and nobody thinks it's lame. Come on, I'm basically Brad Pitt. No big deal.
Right in Ocean's 11.
I have a lot of respect for that comment. Yeah, I don't really see. I kind of see where people are coming from on that, but it doesn't bother me. I'm happy to. It's obviously been a big part of this streaming career, but you know.
No kidding. My dog is like so on it. She's in the corner, really waiting for something.
That's awesome.
I almost feel bad for her, but I don't. She's so cute though.
Aw. It's so nice to see you.
Man.
I feel like I should go get my Pringles.
Yeah, go.
Pringles are good. Those are dope.
Jeez.
Right? Reduce fat, of course, but
I mean, the concept of Pringles is wild. Perfectly shaped chips. Every single one is exactly the same. And I think you can appreciate that synergy because at least you feel comforted knowing that there's going to be no deviation from any chip from one chip to the next.
Right. Like the scooping things that you make for the salsa, the scoop little mini scoops.
Yeah, it's good for scooping. Well, I think to an extent, like I think it's not that strong. So like if you put it in a really thick like dip, it might crack, but it's pretty good.
When I was a kid, I used to put them in my sandwich like that, except that my sandwich would be like 2 inches wide because it had Pringles in it.
Oh, that's a good move. I love the move. I love the chips in the sandwich move. It's a good move.
Right?
Yeah. Do you all do that too, friends? Like Crrissa, do you do that? Do you do sandwiches and like chips and?
Oh yeah, when I go to Subway, it's crunchy Cheetos. Crunchy Cheetos.
Yes. Yeah, I've done it with Doritos. I've done it with Fritos. Yeah, anything that ends in an O's, I've done it with that chip. Sun chips too. I don't know. It's a little bit weirder about sun chips, but I do like it with sun chips.
I feel like the texture would be off.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh man, Alistair, I hope you wild and crazy. Hey, Steeman, so good to see you. How's it going, Steeman friend? Shout out, Steeman. Good to see you again. But yeah, we're just hanging out, having sandwiches with two really awesome people. Scotty Makes Music and Crrissa the Cyberbard, who had a recent name change. Like, you used to be Crossover Crrissa. But both your names have been fun. Is there a specific reason you went with the name change?
Oh yeah. So I had Crossover Crrissa for a long time. And the term crossover singer refers to the kind of singer that is enlisted to sing like Phantom of the Opera. So crossing over genres, being able to sing musical theater and opera. And that's primarily what I was trained in for my education. And so the term crossover was everywhere where I was, as far as my career was concerned. And then I got into like the online sphere and everything like that. And I realized it wasn't like a super, super popular term. It was still pretty niche, but I kept it with my name because I wanted to show I do all genres, like point blank period. I do all genres. And my friend Rob Kovacs was talking to me and he was like, hey, like, I'd love to, pick your brain about your streaming and give you some tips and hints and advice on your stream. And I was like, for free? Yeah, baby. Because Rob had just gotten partner at that time. So that's a big deal for me. And so he chatted with me a little bit and he was like, what's up, Steggy Music? It's lovely to see you in the chat. Hello.
Steggy! Good to see you.
But yeah, and so it was like Rob finally was just like, hey, so I did play for a lot of musical theater people and classical people and when I was living in New York City, and I gotta say, I've never heard the term crossover. And he was like, I don't think that's as like widely spread as you maybe think it is, or it seems so niche down that I don't think it's as like commonly known. And I kind of thought about it, and I had thought about changing my name to Crrissa the Cyberbard multiple times because it was so niche down. And then finally I was like, you know what? If anybody comes to my stream, they're gonna know Crrissa, because no, it's a name, and then Cyberbard, you can put those two ideas together and you can figure it out. No matter what plane of existence you come from, if you're dropping in my chat, you're gonna be able to figure out what I'm trying to say with the title of it. And that's kind of why I switched it, so that I can also be a bard and also like show off my paintings and stuff like that. It can encompass a little bit more. That's why the change happened.
I think it's pretty cool. Like, as you mentioned, it seems to do a really good job of describing your personality, who you are, what you do. So I welcome the change too. Pretty neat.
Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we've seen actually a number of people make changes to their names over the years, and I think many of them are logical. So like, it's pretty cool to see that evolution in play. Scotty,
when I first started, I had a terrible name. I'm on my third name now.
Okay.
Are you really?
Oh, that's wild.
Well, when I first came on, I wasn't really streaming. My friend Ken was like, all right, let's just make up a name so you can make yourself a Twitch account. And he's like, what's the name that your friends gave you when you were teaching at the store? And I said, they called me transcriptor because I was always like transcribing pieces of music, that they were trying to figure out. So they made it like a superhero, transcriptor. And I'm like, all right, who cares? Let's just go. And so, except he does that, except he skipped one of the R's and so it said transcriptor. And so now I'm making friends with music streamers when I first started streaming, and they're like, hi, thanks for the follow transcriptor, and nobody can figure out what my name was, and it was a complete disaster. And so I got rid of that like 2 months later. I had to wait in order to change my name, and then I just made it my own name, which is Scott Lippincott Music. And then later on, somebody suggested to me, you should just, because people struggled saying that name in a chat as well. And I'm like, well, look, anybody that looks me up can know what my name is. I don't really care about that. And that's fine. But so then, and they said, just make it just Scotty Makes Music, because like you do so many different styles, they can just be a little bit, vague. And you just do music, and you do music of all styles and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, all right, sounds good. And then we came up with using little Scotty dog as like the, the icon and all that kind of stuff. And it's great. Let's go.
That is pretty rad. I mean, and it seems to stick. It seems to be sticking, does it not? Do you feel that way? Does it seem to be?
Well, the funny thing is nobody called me Scotty with a Y for like the first like 45 years of my life. And then it came on Twitch, and now it's like Scotty with a Y. Like everybody. Now everybody I run into is like, Scotty! I'm like, okay. Yeah, so like let's go. I'm all down with it.
It's fun part to have that as your identity, and it is kind of fun. It almost feels like fresh and interesting and new, and that's cool. That's very cool. Yeah. I told Scotty the story of my name. It's because my cousin used to just poke fun at me whenever I was eating a sandwich at a family party. So my cousin is Firelord Critch, who is also on Twitch, and he was like, "Oh, Davey's eating a sandwich," and then suddenly my sisters and my cousins ganged up on me and started just laughing and saying I was eating a sandwich whenever I had a sandwich. It's completely silly. So I adopted that for Twitch, and I'm like, well, this is silly enough that maybe people will get into it. And surely enough, it's also been really, really great. So I'm glad.
I think it's a really cool title, because what it portrays to me is like Davey is doing something. Yep. Like Davey is just doing something, whether like, and I love that for Twitch, because Twitch is such a pedestrian place for streamers sometimes, that it's literally like, hey, I'm gonna show up, and sometimes I'm gonna be eating a sandwich, and you're gonna watch it, and it's gonna be a fun time. Like I kind of love that. I think it's like irreverent and really cool, and like very non sequitur, and I like it. I think it's unique. It's cool.
Thanks. And that's actually what I love about it too. It is like it gets people's attention. Like it seems like every time I've run into a channel for the first time, they get a kick out of the name for a lot of reasons. One of it is just because it's so long. Like it's such a long handle. It's like sometimes it doesn't fit in the sound alert. It just like spills over to the
side. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So I'm checking right now to see if Scotty eats a huge plate of spaghetti. It's taken on Twitch already.
But yeah, Crrissa, thank you for saying that. Like I'm glad to know that it's like it's hitting with everybody else too, and I'm proud of that handle. Like it's fun, and I think that was the idea, and it lets this channel be anything, which it generally is. Actually, it's not really specific to any genre, so. If I were to convert this to strictly game, I will never do that. But if I were to convert this to a strictly gaming channel, I wouldn't have to change the name. Like it'd be pretty cool. So,
yeah.
Thanks, Steggy. It's so good to see you, by the way. Welcome in. Yeah. But back to it. So what you're doing on Twitch now. You've all had some real recent milestones. I know you're closing in on other milestones. Like let's go back to Scotty for a second. Like. Describe the journey of what your channel is like these days. I know there's been a lot of innovations. You mentioned the Ableton learning and how that's going. And go ahead.
Yeah, that was the main one for me, is when I switched over to Ableton, and the challenges of being able to do it. But I could do so much more with the songs now with Ableton instead of just looping one section over and over and over again. And I feel like it lets me get away from some of the songs that we hear day in and day out on Twitch that the loopers like to do, because they're basically 1 or 2 sections long, and I can pretty much tackle almost anything. And I love the freedom of it being like basically like an empty sheet of paper. I can just kind of do whatever I want at that point. And the other thing that I've been trying to do lately is I'm just trying to do a lot more of my own music, and which I wasn't really doing when I first got on Twitch. And a couple of my friends were like, Scott, get your originals going. Like, I'm like, okay. And now I'm doing that a lot more than I ever did. So, which feels great. I love where that's going.
Yeah, I can coast. I mean, your originals have been really, really, really good. Like, I really like them. I would say Yeah, I think you're absolutely welcome. And Carissa, same thing. Like yours are witty. They're so fun, inventive, really good lyrics.
She's an incredible lyricist.
Yeah,
She is an incredible lyricist.
absolutely,
Like,
Thank you.
absolutely. How are things? What are the new happenings over on your channel, Carissa? Like, are you exploring different directions too, or things happen? Or are you in like? What are some of the more recent developments over at the Cyberbard's place?
Well, I have almost. I was pushing for it for a while. First of all, my 3-year anniversary hit in October, so I've been doing this for a little bit over 3 years now, which is wild and wonderful. And I right now am trying to push for 3K. I'm at like 2,810 or something like that, and I'm really trying to push for that 3K because I have a sneaking suspicion that when you get to numbers like that, people are just like, "Oh, like the social proof is there. I'm just going to follow without thinking about it." Which is kind of a nice place to be because then you just kind of grow exponentially rather than like, hey, I have to prove to you, that I'm a quality singer slash streamer or whatever. So I've been really trying to push for 3K just because it's a really cool milestone as well, and something I'm already so proud of where I've been. And so really it's been okay, how do I go into my RC505 and start messing with some of the like more highbrow functions? How do I make these songs move in a way where anybody could enjoy them? And how do I make everybody who walks into my chat feel just seen and heard and really continue that throughout the growth? So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I do see a question from Steam and Friend. How many instruments do you play without diluting your content, or is that not an issue? So for me, I am a singer through and through. That is what I do. I have 2 degrees in vocal performance, and so I built all of my instrumentation off of that. And I felt like I wasn't an instrumentalist for a long time. I still don't feel like a true instrumentalist. But I play piano to accompany myself with chord charts. I use my RC505 to loop and make accompaniments. I use ukulele every once in a while, and sometimes I'll strum a guitar. And then I use silly little percussion instruments for fun and a kazoo. So I do silly things, and I do things that make me feel like there's not such high stakes with it as far as the musicking and the creating of music. But I am really primarily a flesh woodwind instrument, aka a singer.
Yeah, I mean, and I think
Flesh woodwind.
Flesh woodwind.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
How would you compare that with the range of a recorder?
It's a lot more obnoxious.
I think you're underselling your vocal range, Carissa. It is amazing. Like I'm impressed. Like I remember some of the first few times I was on the channel, like just seeing how high of a note of a register you can reach. Like that's not easy to do. All the training that you mentioned and the experience, I'm sure, has served you well.
Yeah, I did pop out as a coloratura soprano. I have been able to sing these notes ever since I was in middle school. So I was told from a young age that I was going to have a higher voice, and I was always that person that could just pop out the high stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's something that I developed and something that my mom put me in voice lessons when I was in middle school, and then I was in voice lessons when I was in high school with 2 teachers at the time. So I was taking from a musical theater teacher who just taught me musical theater and pop rep, and a classical teacher who taught me only classical stuff. So it was like I was doing that, voice lessons 2 times a week, and also prepping for college, and also wanting to go musical theater and opera. And so it was very much like racehorse in the high school years.
Yeah, respect, definitely big time respect. Follow-up question. This will go to both of you, but we'll start with Carissa. What are among your favorite songs to sing? And Clever, so good to see you, by the way. Nothing clever to say is in our chat. Hello there.
Yes, Fleshwind. Exactly.
I'll change the title, Baby Ate a Sandwich. Nice.
For let's see. Okay. Sorry, can you say the question again? Flesh Wind got me.
Oh yeah, no worries. What are your favorite songs to sing?
My favorite songs to sing are probably, so first of all, for Christmas related stuff, my two favorite songs to sing of all time are Man with the Bag by K-Star and Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Of course, the Judy Garland version is my favorite because I love her voice and I think she sounds lovely. I love singing anything Judy Garland because I know exactly what I'm supposed to do and I don't have to reinvent the wheel and I don't have to make it better. I just have to do it like Judy or at least something similar and it sounds wonderful. So I love singing Judy. I love singing contemporary musical theater stuff. I love stuff with a story. That is my big, big thing.
That's great. All right, Scotty?
I also like to sing Judy Garland. Kidding. No, singing is not my forte compared to like the instruments. But I love God, like Tom Petty, John Mellencamp, some of the singer-songwriter guys that I've kind of learned to sing from. I love Elliott Smith's voice, just as a softer voice. I love, I mean, like I grew up with like Rush and Iron Maiden and all these super high guys. I can't do any of that, but if I could sing it, I probably would be singing that stuff. But I have a much lower voice. So, it's a little bit of everything for me. I like the challenge of being able to sing things that I haven't sung before. I think that's one of the really cool things about Twitch is like people ask you to, well, let me see if I can sing this song. Why not? Like, who cares? Let's go. We can give it a shot, And yeah, so there's I don't like have like one artist I just love to do over and over again, anything like that. But I love the challenge of being able to do most of them. It's like a variety of stuff, and there's always things you can learn from anywhere on the musical rainbow of things. You can learn to become a better musician from singing a chick tune or singing a boy band song or singing a metal song. There's always something that's going to make you a better musician. So I'm all about it. Yep. Can I let me go back. Sim and Friend had a question in the chat that they put my name under, but said, what would you impart to new musicians that are trying to find their musical way? Just do you. Just do you. And I know it's kind of a cliche to say that, but like just I saw an interview with Rick Rubin on like TikTok or something like that the other day, and he said, make the music that you want to hear, not that you think somebody else wants to hear, and then you're going to be fine. As long as you're making the music you want to hear, it's going to come from your heart, and people are going to respect it because they're going to know that it came from your heart. So that would that's one of the things that struck me, like 30 years after being a musician. You're like, there it is. Wish I had that in 1988. But yeah, that's I don't know. Crrissa, you can climb in on this one too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I agree with that sentiment. I would say even more to that point, the more that you are in line and in tune with what you want out of life and what your purpose on this life is in this world is, the more that you can authentically tell your story in a way that's unfettered by the bullshit of the world. And that makes really, really good writing.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Co-sign on that big time.
Absolutely. And I think it's a good line. Like, be yourself writing music. I think we can tell who's really good at who really is true to that and who isn't. And surely the two of you have definitely fit into that category over the years. So really great. Like, so let's continue this conversation and let's give the chat a chance to ask some more questions. Now it is time for what we call America's favorite moment in if I can find the button, in Twitch broadcasting. Wait, where is it? Should be this one, right? Yes, got him. I figured it out. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna push this. We'll see if it works. Hey, there you go. Okay, so yeah, some folks have already done it. If you'd like to ask a question for Scotty or Crrissa or both, use exclamation point question plus the question, enter it in the chat, and we'll gladly take them for the course of the next few minutes or so. And let's start with Muppet Stooges fan 1, who is a mod over at Carissa's channel and a big fan of both channels, I believe. I'm sure. Here's a question. Favorite songs on this year's Collabamajig album? I think I know one, but feel free to tackle that however you wish.
That's a really good question. There's so many. I remember when the album first came out, I listened to the whole thing like super fast. I was just like, I was skimming through it and I was like, oh my God, that's so good. I want to go back and listen to this. I want to get back and listen to this. I actually liked the one Manny did with All Music Considered, the Christmas tree farming. That there's something simple about that song, and you're just like, this is really super sweet. I like the one that Wonder Truly and Joyce Lee did together. I thought that one was really good as well.
Oh yeah.
Those are my two, like that jump out at me as my favorites so far.
My two that were my favorites were The Christmas in the 80s. Loved that song. Thought it was so fun. And then I heckin' love the song, and I forget what, I think it's the Christmas time for me, but it was Alana Maddie, and who was the girl that duetted with her?
Wait, who was it? Oh, Alana Maddie and I think it was Liv Harris.
Liv Harris, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Both of their voices together was like, you could put that on a top 40 list and it would function just fine. It was so beautiful. Yeah. Their harmonies were beautiful together, and their voices complement each other in such a wonderful way that I was just completely taken aback. I loved that track. I thought it was really cool.
It was epic. So much power in that song, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah. It was neat. Those were the two that really popped out at me that I like. They're like knee-jerk reaction. I loved those.
I dig it.
How about you, Dave?
That one's definitely one. But your all's track. I mean that was just so much fun. Like, as I said it to Scotty off air. I said it to people on air. I've said it to people before the stream. I've said it to people last week. I'm like, it's a wonderful change of pace. And as you both were saying, it is like nothing else on the entire album. Like, it is one of a kind, and I really love the tune, and I appreciate it. Thank you for doing it.
We felt that way when we started it. I said to Chris, I'm like, you realize nothing's going to sound like this on the whole album, right? This is going to be like the odd song. And she's like, yep, let's go. And I'm like, let's go. And off we went.
Yeah, that's so good. So good. Let me give you one more, because there are a bunch of them that are pretty good. Like, the one I keep remembering, that keeps coming to mind is Courtney Visser and Destiny Guerra's track, which is the second track in the album. That was a good one. Like, good lyrics. Like, it's a good tune. All the ones you all mentioned were good too. Like, I agree with all. Like, it's pretty fun. And I gotta give a shout out to our two friends, like the LG Music, who did a track with Blake Baker Music. Ho Ho It's Noel. That's a fun one. And C-Dub Guitar, who's been, a good friend of ours, had a really good tune with a great story that he did with Music with Kev, and it's a tale of two brothers. It's just really great lyrics. I love songs that tell a story, and that's like one of those great types of tell a good story songs. And there's so many others. I'd be here all night if I kept going. So those are some of my favorites.
Good choices, all of them.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the question, Muppets. A terrific question. Let's go ahead and continue. And on we go with nothing clever to say. I hope you're doing all right, though. Oh man, Clever. Don't die, Clever. Don't die. But Clever's question: if your favorite song was a sandwich, what kind of bread would it have? Be specific. Oh my goodness. Who wants to go with that one? Who wants to tackle that first?
It would be rosemary. It would be the macaroni grill rosemary bread that they serve before you eat your meal.
Wow.
Yes. It would be that. That bread is so It functions so well, so it's actually the structurally functions well. It's heckin' delicious, and it gets the job done every time.
That is good bread, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That answer was so good, I actually forgot the question.
What song is that, bread? Oh.
Right.
You know, that song, that it's like Sunday Morning by the Commodores, you know? Easy by
Easy like Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just to feast on it until you're not gonna have pasta.
I was actually gonna exactly say that the same song. You literally stole my song.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
That's what I'm saying.
Synergy!
This is what I'm saying.
Bro, why are we the same person?
Right.
It's great.
Like, wait, what? Where are you born again? Right.
What
that
are
was
your parents' names?
right. Exactly. It is creepy. It is creepy, Big Bill, but I love it anyway.
It's amazing.
I own it. I own it. That's okay.
I'm impressed. Like that. That's chemistry you can't buy. I mean, you thought Siskel and Ebert had chemistry. Like this is chemistry. Like this is good stuff. Let me try to tackle this. My favorite song was a sandwich. Well, I know my favorite song is "Don't You Forget About Me." So what would that be? Something with a kick.
Yeah, it's gotta have a kick.
I'm gonna say Nashville hot chicken sandwich. So that's probably on like a King's Hawaiian roll. So it's sweet and it's spicy and it's got the pickles for that little accent for the bridge, you know. And it's got extra pickles because I love pickles. So like that's my lean. That would be it. Yeah. And then what was it? Somebody else had one. I think Big Bill Hendos is probably a rustic rye that is probably a day from being stale. What a description. That's really good. Yeah. Nothing. Clever says fever-inspired questions lead to the best chemistry. Oh man, Clever, feel better. I'm so sorry. I really hope. God, we'll talk, but I hope you're doing all right. I mean, obviously you've been better, but hang in there, my friend. Gosh, thank you for the question, though. Healing vibes, but Clev. Let's go to Seamus' question next. To Crrissa, is there a way that you as an artist find your connection to music? And is there a trick in how you deliver that connection?
Are we talking about interpreting other music that people have composed or creating music on my own?
I think this is in reference to music, your original music, because like, is there a way that you, the artist, finds your connection to music? And
yes. My entryway is always through earworms first. And if I hear an earworm, I will repeat that earworm over and over and over and hum it to myself over and over on a voice memo. And then I will find words that I like on top of it. And then the words will tell the story. Once I have one sentence, then it's like, boom, the whole story can kind of have the scaffolding from there. But I really, really function from earworms a lot. Well, the song I wrote called Reminiscence, that's about like changing roles and like healing generational trauma, all started with me walking in a park and hearing a rusty swing, and it literally was and I heard that and I was like, that is a freaking melody. And it's the predominant ostinato that you hear in the song Reminiscence.
Wow.
Yeesh.
Wow. That's
That's
deep.
awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So good.
That's how I connect to music. That's how I create. That's at least what has served me well in the past.
That's really cool.
I relate to that a little bit. I think for me, I come up with ideas more when I'm away from instruments than I do than when I'm sitting at a piano, which is kind of weird. Like I'll write things like more when I'm out like for a walk or I'm like in the shower. I hear things like in my head and I don't have anything around. So I'm like, I have so many voicemails of me humming into my cell phone, not in the shower, but you know, like right after the shower, like I'll just go and I'll hear something in my head and I'll be, you know, and then you go back to it later on. And you're like, man, that was actually really good. And then you can actually go down and work on it with an instrument. But that's kind of like how it is for me. A lot of the things that I heard for the collab, I heard when I was just I went for I was at the when it was still hot on the East Coast, even though it was like the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And I was walking a lot then, and I came up with the chords for the whole ending thing, just not even with a piano in my hand. I was like walking around. So
Wow.
I do not have a keyboard in the shower, Decibel. Not yet. Not yet.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, I have a tiny, like I live in a 150-year-old house and with like 7-foot ceilings. So everything in our house is like tiny.
Oh, I gotcha.
So, but yeah, we really have a shower. But we love it.
What are the acoustics like in the shower like that? If there's is there a ceiling like that tall in the shower too?
Well, the toughest thing about that shower is you have to like crouch down in order to really get under the shower. It's like
wow.
like having one in a motorhome.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's an old it's a farmhouse type thing. I live on a house that was built for the people that worked on the farm to live in. That's where I live. So it's what we have, and I love it. It just vibes, and who cares? It's a shower.
Yeah,
that's fair.
It's
a shower, and I don't know. Like I've been in a big shower, and I'm like, this is no big deal, So, you don't come close to dying if you're slipping. If you're in a small shower, you can just keep yourself up. So,
yeah,
I'm just saying.
For sure.
Safety tip.
No, yeah. So, it's good to be aware of it before it's you in the wrong spot.
Right?
Yeah. Let's see. Clever says, I like Tom Waits when I'm sick. It makes me feel like I already died, and that's probably okay. Definitely. Waits will take you to places. Tom Waits' music is extraordinary in that way.
I played a Tom Waits themed wedding once.
Ooh.
Like all the music
really?
in the
that
is in the ceremony and in the cocktail hour was all Tom Waits music.
Wow.
And it was interesting. It wouldn't be for me
at
my wedding, but
I can imagine.
It was really weird. And then the band comes on, and here we are playing "Jump in the Line," and the face just goes nuts. But it was literally like 2 hours of like the ceremony music and all this. That was all Tom Waits, and it was like. It was bizarro. It was Bizarro World. We were like, how did we get this gig? But
I just can't visualize that being a request. But I mean, it's interesting though, isn't it? That's a pretty interesting call. Huh?
Our agent was like, you're never gonna guess what wedding you're doing next year. And when we're like, what?
Yeah.
It's a Tom Waits wedding. We're marrying Tom Waits. No, it's all his music.
That's not, yeah. And Clever says, was it the 70s piano stuff or the crazy Tom Waits stuff?
It was the real drabby, like the growly Tom Waits, most of that stuff.
Okay.
So I don't know. Like Pork Roll knows all the Tom Waits stuff, like inside and out. I only know like his other stuff, the main stuff. But
yeah.
There's a question from Stephen Frank. I don't know. Is this on the queue? The last big solo in life? Is that in the queue of?
It is, but I'm gonna go. But Stephen has a question ahead of it, so I'll go to that question first.
Right. That's fine. I saw it. I didn't want it to go up in chat. Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
I do think Clever's point is interesting though, Davey. Think about the stomp of Underground with the bride going down the aisle. It works. That would work. I would agree. That tracks.
Right.
Still better than playing Every Breath You Take at a wedding, which is completely fair. That doesn't even make any sense. Like, people don't get these lyrics. But let's go to the question, and then I'll ask Crrissa if I have time to follow up. Like, did you have any gigs kind of like that, or do you like if you can think of things you've done? Has there been anything kind of wild like that?
The weirdest gig that I ever did was for So the Bob Bullock Museum is real big here in Texas, in Austin. And it's like, it's just a big old museum with like 3 floors. It's very grand. And we go there as kids, for field trips and stuff. And so Apple decided to rent out the entire building to have a Christmas party. And I happened to be working for a Christmas trio called the Vintage Dreams, where we dressed up as Andrew's sisters, right, and did 3-part harmony, and it was wonderful. I loved that gig. It was great. But this year they had a Western theme. And so it was all costumes provided by my employer. And we had full on like bonnets and like Western like dress. Like we looked like little Southern belles, all three of us, and we would just go around this 3-layer party in this museum and just like sang 3-part harmony Christmas jingles. And it was super fun, super weird, because it wasn't just us. There were so many performers. Like there was like the cowboys on stilts walking around with like holsters and stuff like that. There were like, you know, burlesque women like walking around, and everybody who showed up also like, you know, dressed up as the theme from Apple. So it was a totally corporate Apple party. We could not share any, you know, pictures from it. And
Oh
it
man.
was just wild and so fun and crazy. And yeah, Decibel actually mentions when I played a Sith Lord in the Queen of the, I played the Queen of the Night as a Sith Lord and had a lightsaber on stage because it was the magic flute reskinned in Star Wars universe.
Wow.
So those are two really fun crazy things that I did. But man, that Apple party was weird. It was weird because it was like, imagine how much money people put into like Christmas parties for corporate stuff like that, where you like can't share anything from them. Like I just got a taste of that. I can't even imagine the crazy stuff that goes on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was wild. It was wild.
I'd love to hear accounts of other ones, so other people who've been involved in these kind of parties.
That's a good story, though.
Yeah.
Man.
It's wild.
Right?
That's
like right up there with Eyes Wide Shut.
It was like 2.5 hours too. It was long. We were so tired by the end.
I can imagine. Yeah. How was it? Was it a good paying gig? Like, did they give you like good money for that?
It was the best paying gig for that type of work in Austin at the time. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Because the girl that hired us came from New York, and she lived in New York City for 10 years. So when she came back, you know, to Austin, it was like, yeah, we're gonna charge at least this. But she still had to stay competitive with the prices here in Austin, and so she fought with that. But I mean, yeah, like I think I got like $500 for a season one time, but I had like 15 to 20 gigs. So, you know, it's not it's not amazing money, but it's also not chump change. So you have to love it, and you have to know how to do the workflow so that it makes sense financially. And
Right.
it's not something that makes sense financially for me anymore, but at the time, God, it was so fun. And I just love those girls, and harmonizing with them is just the funnest. It's so cool.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun time. And as we just talked about, you now you have stories for days and days and days.
True.
Yeah,
It's true.
that's cool. Let's welcome in Pinball Sorcerer and Rothgar Aurora. It's good to see everybody. How's it going? Great.
Paul.
I love it. Rothgar says NDAs all around for the holiday parties. No doubt. Yeah. Pinball says, I've only been an unwilling participant in corporate holiday parties, and yes, it can get real weird.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
Pinball? It's super weirdo, bizarro. Pinball was one of our moderators and basically the tech coordinator for the Together Wherever stream. So that's how I know Pinball, which was really cool. By the way, I want to shout out Pinball because, dude, you handled that like such a class act. Like, I felt so comfortable going into that stream because of all the levels and everything you did. So like, whatever you're doing, just keep on doing it. You're awesome.
Pinball really does amazing stuff for the Together Wherever for the entirety of Together Wherever, like the Together Wherever channel, Together Wherever events like New Tune. It's an amazing. So thank you so much for all that you do, and it is a lot of work. I can tell just from seeing it third hand. Actually, Scotty, have you been part of New Tune? I was trying to look that up before going to stream, but I didn't quite get far enough in that.
I've not. I've actually never been on a team.
I see.
On Twitch yet. Taste. Anybody knows a good one? Let me know. I'm down. I'd love to be on one.
Yeah, oh, go ahead, Crrissa.
It's just a tune showcase. I don't think it's even a team. It's just like it's a show. Like
Mhm.
you just show
Right.
up. It's the same thing as the Collabamajig, but they just do new songs with different
Yeah.
themes.
I researched that a lot when I first started streaming, but a lot of them were doing raid trains on Fridays and Saturdays. And when I was
Oh.
gigging with the band, like, and I never had a weekend day off ever, unless it was like Christmas or something. Like, we literally worked every Friday, every Saturday, and most of the Sundays of a year for 22 years.
Oh wow.
So, yeah. And I'm blessed, and I wouldn't want it any other way. But, but it's just, and so they're like, "Do you guys do everything other than weekends?" Like, no, just weekends. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll be gigging.
Got you.
So that's the reason I haven't partaken in that so far. But
Okay. Makes sense.
this next year, I certainly can.
Okay. I'll let the
So
people
let's
know.
go.
Absolutely.
Let the peoples know.
Yeah. Well, I know that both of you are really prolific at original songwriting. That's a big reason why I would certainly let people, the powers that be, know about your work. And Carissa's been part of the event, and technically I've been a part of the event too. But it's a really fun regular series. I think my follow up before we get to the next question is, how long would it normally take you to write an original song? I know it's not linear, but Decibel, thank you for the gifts of the Dead Girly. And by the way, Dead Girly, so good to see you. By the way, welcome in. We'll go to Crrissa first. Like, when you think about writing a song, and like I was saying, like, sometimes you might write like 3 or 4 of them at the same time, but what is your typical timeline for how long it takes to write a song?
I am a super efficient, organized person. I
Mhm.
believe myself to be so. And so when I'm writing a song, it's not 3 or 4. It's 1, and I'm finishing it that afternoon. Like, I am so immediate about stuff, and I really am just I'm so bad about being hyper focused sometimes about, oh, I need to finish this and I need to make it into something. And so the 2 songs that were the most potent that I like wrote the fastest were written in 3 hours, about an afternoon. And the longer songs have taken me like a month over time, just going back and kind of, messing with things and stuff like that. Now, when I write these songs in 3 hours, it's like I have the verses and the chorus and a general melody, but I don't have the instrumentation or like the actual flow or movement of the entire song.
All right.
So.
I love the breakdown. Scotty.
Wow, I'm pretty similar to Carissa. Like, some songs come out really fast, and you can't believe how much you're just writing down all within 10 minutes. And you're freaking out like, oh man, this is so good. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is good. Look at this, is done. And it's literally that fast. Sometimes you have to work on things, or you write things and you go back and you read it and you're like, yeah, it's kind of lame lyrically. I'm gonna fix this. And one of the things that I run into is I'm always editing my song structure, like, and coming up with bridges and little things, transitions in between. That's what I try to do with my music as much as I can, because I think that's a good fight. And a lot of times, you won't even hear any, like, you'll do a version of the song, and then like 10 years later, you'll be like, oh man, I should have put this in this song. I'll go back and do it. And there's a lot of guys that there's no one way to do it. There's a lot of different ways, and sometimes I've written songs that we lay down in 10 minutes, and there's songs that I literally just am working on a song that I wrote probably in the early 90s right now. And I literally just wrote an intro and 3 more verses for it last week.
Wow.
But it always just sat on a cassette. But for forever, I just had like a demo of it, and there's always a bridge. That's right, Frankenstein. And yeah, and now it's finally gonna be like finished. I'm so excited about it. But if I tried then in 1990 whatever to do that, it probably would have been terrible. So it's like,
Yeah.
whenever you get struck by lightning, you just try to like make the most you can of that moment.
Absolutely. Clever has redeemed "What Would You Do for a Klondike Bar," but also adds, "True Love Waits took Radiohead like 20 years." Wow. Like, just kind of like your story, Scotty. Like, that's so interesting. Like, it does seem like there are songs that you can go back to and adjust them, right? So even after you complete a song, do you still get the urge to like tweak things, like maybe tweak how you play it or chord progressions?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You ever listen to the that album that came out of all like the demos of the Beatles songs, and you realize how much they changed before you actually heard the version that actually made it
Yeah.
onto the album? It's unbelievable. You're just like they edited, or even if you watch Get Back, the which was like, remember how long that documentary was when it came out like last year or whatever during the
Yeah, yeah.
pandemic? You're like, oh, it's like 4 hours of like them arguing in rehearsals, um but at the same time, like you see the process of them just trying to get that song out, and they're just trying and trying and trying and trying, and then of course we know it as Get Back, and we're like, this is one of the best songs ever, but you don't realize that they toiled over that thing for months and months, and arguments, and guy quit the band and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's
It's
amazing.
crazy, but it happens that way sometimes. And like some bands get in the studio and they write things in a day.
Right. And sometimes
And it's great.
absolutely. Like there's no wrong answer to this question. That's just the best part about it. I mean, Crrissa, do you do that too? Like do you go back on songs you've done and tweak them and change things around?
So I have this weird purist view about feeling like the songs that I wrote have to stay in that time and need to be like an utterance of that time in my life. However, the only song that I have tweaked throughout the years is Rose Colored Glasses, which was the very first song that I wrote. And it's almost like the crux of like a lot of songs that I wrote. And so I would look at that song so many times because it was before the time in my life where I felt validated and free and liberated to enough to songwrite. And so I would kind of pick hairs on it, and I would change things and move things, and okay, the chords can be a little bit more sophisticated because I've learned more music theory, and so it became kind of like a thing, like a wound that wouldn't close, and I kept like just messing with it for years and years until I finally felt like, okay, this is something that's right. Now the meat and potatoes of the song are the same from when I was 15 years old. There are slight changes in, words and slight chord like differentiations, but it's basically the same from when I was 15, 16, because I really, again, wanted to keep the solidarity in telling 15-year-old Carissa's story.
Yeah, yeah. It's I can appreciate that too. Like I think that's a really cool that's a really interesting approach because it captures a moment in time. And there's definitely something to that. Yeah.
I also think of that in tattoos too.
Mhm.
Tattoos are a big, for some reason, tattoos on my body, I don't like to plan them. So when people are like, oh, like you have to plan like 3 months ahead to get this tattoo, I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to go somewhere on a weekend and have fun and get one. I'm very odd when it comes to tattoos and songwritings. I want them to live in the moment. And I want them to be and function in the moment because I want them to be an exhilarating thing that happens there and like honor that moment. I don't know why.
That's pretty
That's definitely cool. You know, when you come up, like if sometimes you have a song, you write a song and it's missing that one little thing, and it's like okay, and then all of a sudden if you get that idea, no matter when it is, you're like, that's the one, done. And that I chase that feeling all the time. Where you're like, that's the section we needed. Now the song is done. It's a complete thought. At that point, don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
touch it.
Don't.
Yeah.
And painting has taught me that too, a lot. Like as I've been painting more and more and letting myself do that as a hobby and lean into that, I've just realized like sometimes I'll look at the canvas and go, I need to stop fucking with this today.
Right?
And it needs to be done for today. And that's been a really cool lesson that I think I've always really leaned into in my songwriting and apparently in my painting, but in a lot of other places, I really, really try to fuck around and find out until it just goes haywire. I am so good at overanalyzing and over detail orienting everything.
I get that way about painting an actual room. Yeah, that one little spot, it comes up and I ruined it. Oh, geez.
Oh,
I thought I
wow.
could make it perfect.
That's impressive detail, Scotty. Like that's pretty
Well, it happens.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have Carissa's gift for art like that. But I'll paint a living room. Go to Home Depot, get some things done.
Scotty,
That's me.
a question: do you do accent walls or do you?
Yeah, I do. I've actually made like half the furniture in my house.
Oh, okay.
in the winter.
Wow.
The shelves behind me that you see, I made
Yeah.
those.
Oh wow. That's a fun fact. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
That is
I didn't make the couch, but I bought the couch. But,
Okay. Fantastic. Let me catch up on chat. I know I'm sorry about the two questions. Let's go back to the questions. I didn't mean to get off track too much, but I did love the tangent on Freddie Mercury and Billy Corgan. That is so interesting. Clever says Billy Corgan rewrites most of the Pumpkin songs for each tour. So this is the antithesis of Carissa's approach. I think he gets bored. That is wild. Yeah. And then how long did Freddie Mercury work on Bohemian Rhapsody? Asks Decibel. And Clever says, I know they mixed the track down to the tape was basically transparent. Yeah.
I've heard that story.
Yeah, I have too, actually. I mean, most Queen songs have like so many overdubs that the tape heads are just angry at them after the end of the session. Like they're just done with them. Like that's so many overdubs. They would have loved Ableton if they were around back in those days.
I've read that Billy Corgan has the reputation for being one of those never satisfied guys too.
Yeah.
He's always trying to do something. He's never really at peace with his music.
Yeah.
Which is a way to be.
Everybody's got a different way to go about it, right? Like I think they're all valuable. And Alice, and then going back to tattoos, Alistair says 100% with tattoos. I have 6, and they all have a story for that moment in time. That's cool.
Who said that?
Alistair UK.
Alistair, because you know what? I actually have 6, and they all have a story.
Whoa!
I think it's actually 6.
That is it's legit.
Yeah, I think it's 6. 5. Yeah, I think 6 was the last count I had.
Yeah.
It's wild.
That is wild. Dead Girl says tattoos are addicting. That's also fair. Yeah.
I have no tattoos and no piercings. Nothing.
Wow.
And I was a piercing person, had gauges in high school.
None of it for me, which is crazy because I've been in rock and roll for 30 years, but no.
Yep.
More spandex ones.
Well, but that's a story we're gonna have to hear a little later in the story.
Yeah.
That story later.
I had
right now.
Oh yeah, well, that's true. Vanilla milk, but yeah, that's true. There's a picture of my friend Tim's got one of me in my tiger striped spandex pants and long hair, and it was the '80s. It's what we had. We had Striper. Come on.
Right. No, fair. I mean, you were
people wear the weirdest shit on Instagram now. Like, come on, dude.
Right? That's right.
That's acceptable. Weird influencers, they wear weird stuff. Weirder
That's
than
right.
anything from the 80s.
It wasn't weird back then. It's just what we had.
Yeah, it's fair. Totally fair. Very shiny. Like you never get lost because people...
It was definitely a phase.
Reflective.
And Kurt Cobain made it okay to wear your pajamas on stage, and you're like, okay.
Yeah. I think I mean it's more comfortable, so that's why I was down with 90s wardrobe. Like that's more comfortable for sure. Flannel is the thing. Pinball says this confirms my baseline aversion to Instagram. I mean I see where you're coming from on that.
It can be great. There can be some micro communities that are really lovely, just like Twitch. But I get it. Everybody's wanting to sell you something.
Yeah, I get it too. Definitely. Let's go to Muppet's question. Have you visited Julia Child's Kitchen on display at the Smithsonian Museum in DC?
No. Yes or no? No.
I think I have.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wait, it's not at the main, like I bet there's like several buildings that are Smithsonian in Washington. There's like the Air and Space, and there's a bunch that are under the umbrella of Smithsonian. I think I have been to that. Is that the same building that has like all the presidential first ladies' dresses and all that stuff?
I can't
Yes,
answer
in the American History Museum. Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Turns out, yes. The answer is yes.
Wow.
What do I win?
Let's go, Scotty. Nice.
What do I win?
What do you win?
Fine.
Nah.
You win a Flocati rug, I think, for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for the question, Muppets. That's a great question.
Right? American history music.
Good stuff.
What are the odds? I've been to like 6 places in Washington, and that's one of them.
You know what he's doing? You know what Muppets is doing? He's confirming facts and figures about streamers, because Muppets is my secret weapon on trivia when I do it on my channel. And I ask Muppets to create trivia questions about other streamers. That's probably going to show up in trivia.
I like this. I like this.
No, Muppets is great. Muppets is great with like streamer knowledge trivia.
Yes.
Especially music streamer knowledge. So we've had some really hard trivia times where people are like, how am I supposed to know this? And I'm like, too bad. You're not going to get an Amazon gift card. Too bad.
When you have Muppets as an ally, that's a huge edge in trivia. Huge.
Right?
Huge.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's why I made him a moderator. Like, that was the step of me being like, oh yeah, this trivia is gonna be good.
Big respect. That's great. Yeah, awesome stuff. So thank you again, Muppets. And I'm definitely keen to Muppets' incredible knowledge. Let's go to Steven's question. Steven did have a follow-up question too. So I'm actually this is actually kind of a 2-part question. One question for Scotty, one question for Crrissa. So Steven's first question to Scotty is, your last big solo in life. Would you play the Tell It or the Strat? And what song?
Oh gosh.
Wow, what a question.
Yeah. I know, jeez. Well, I think the guitar would be the Strat. I'm a Strat guy. I use a Telly on the stream a lot because it was kind of versatile, and for some of the songs, the original songs I did, I like the twangier sound of it. But I'm a Strat guy. And I've actually used the Les Paul with gigging too. But definitely would be the guitar would definitely be the Strat. I love my Strat. The song, gosh, man, the last guitar solo, it'd probably be like maybe one of my solos. I don't know if I would want to play. If it was like the last thing I was going to play on a guitar, if I'd want to be playing like Master of Puppets or anything, or I can't even remember what I think of what I'd be playing. But
yeah,
or Bohemian Rhapsody, or I don't know, something in the way she moves from the Beatles. Boop, boop. I don't know. There's so many beautiful things, in guitar world. So
yeah, absolutely.
Strat. The answer is Strat.
Strat, and it's a good answer. I like it. Steven, thank you for. That's a great question, Steven. Thank you so much.
What's up, Oversight?
Oh, I'm so good to see you. What is up? Oversight Mod is here. What is up, my good friend? Feel free to ask a question of our friends tonight. We have Scotty Makes Music and Crrissa the Cyberbard tonight as a guest. Great gets for us here on the Sandwich Show. So for Crrissa, the question Steven has is, I see you have artwork behind you. Is that your creation? And if so, where can we view more?
Some of them are my creations, and some of them are things that other people have made. So behind me right now, you will see right there is a painting I did with the moon and the stars and the clouds. I do the moon and the stars and the cloud. Those are little frogos that I made. You can't really see it, but it's a froggo that has a hat on that is also a flower. I made about 5 of those, and they are on other streamers' backgrounds because I told them to hang them up in their house somewhere. This black painting here with the flowers is one that I made that inspired my very first album cover, Break the Vault. I made the butterflies. That's the Skyrim map up there because Skyrim is my first love in video games. I have a sunflower. I have a huge slug behind me who is tromping through the land.
Ooh.
And it has a single flower it's looking at. I got my Bob Ross paintings down here, and then my newest one I'll actually show you close because I'm really proud of it. It's right next to
It's the dog.
It is.
Aww.
I just made that, and it took me several days to make, and I really wanted to get the detail in there and get all of the stuff, but I'm trying to give myself the grace to just make stuff for the sake of making it and just enjoying the process, because I want to encourage other people to do that on my stream too. who watch my stream. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I like your artwork too. That's pretty sweet.
I do it because I want to encourage others.
Mm-hmm.
And the fox says, "Ring ding ding a ding a ding ding ding." But yeah, so I really, that's my whole thing is like, I really want to encourage other people to get into their own creativity and feel like they can express their creativity in a very pedestrian way, because it just so much is gate kept and is so much an ivory tower in my experience in academia. So.
No, I hear that. And I think that's actually one of the cool things about streaming is that it does give people the courage to express themselves and do art and do music and do other things. And it's been really great getting to know everybody on this platform for that reason, and different sides of people as well. You know, you have art, you have voiceovers and music. It's a lot of dimensions. It's pretty cool. Let's go to Muppet's next question.
Sorry, I have to answer the question of the last guitar solo.
Okay.
I need to answer my version of that.
Let's go.
Let's go. I'm into it.
Very last song that I would sing would be Monica's Waltz by Minotti. Minotti is a weird classical contemporary composer, and the very last song I would sing is Monica's Waltz, because Monica is singing this cute little song, and she's singing to her mute friend, and her just childhood friend who can't speak. And so she's singing and singing and singing, but throughout the entire aria, she is interpreting everything that he is saying and singing for him as well. And at the very, very end of the song, she says, "You have the most beautiful voice I've ever heard." And that song to me encapsulates so much of what it is to be a singer and to be an artist and to be a creative. Is like, it doesn't matter if you don't have the voice.
Aw, that's great. But Decibel asks, but would you sing it as a Stratocaster or a Telecaster?
Both.
I love it.
Voice caster.
Yeah, voice caster.
Yeah.
Yep. Flesh wind caster, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. There you are. Folks, for those of you joining us late, I would love to have you send questions to us, and you can do that by using ! question plus the question. Enter that in the chat, and we'll take your questions for the next 10-15 minutes or so. We'd love to hear from you. All right, so Muppets with a question. Did you know that the Lonely Goat Herd puppets from The Sound of Music are at a museum in Mason City, Iowa?
Go Iowa. I would have never.
Everybody knows that.
I wouldn't have known that, Muppets, but it's going to be a trivia question. Give a ton of states.
Yeah, honestly.
It's almost like Jerry McGrath. Did you know the human head weighs 8 pounds?
Yes, exactly.
Right, for sure.
8.25.
Oh, I just love it. Alistair says, she uses too many big words for my brain. Chris is a smart gal. What can we say? I mean,
I do use large words only because my dad used them a lot with me, and I like big words, and I like the pretty sounds of the big words.
I love it. Yeah, but Decibel's question: African swallow I thought it was European swallow, but English swallow. We'll go with that. Yeah,
they could grab the husk and carry it together.
I don't know.
Oh, I still love it. Bob J, by the way, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I forgot to say hello, Bob. So good to see you tonight. Minotti
Bob is my friend.
Dig it. Like, you mean IRL friend? Like you've met Bob J in person?
Childhood friend. I went over to Bob's house as a 7-year-old. He was our next door neighbor, and I gave him green olives and cheese and said, "Would you like an hors d'oeuvre?" And that's how we became friends.
Oh, that's amazing.
Wild.
Yeah, Bob J's cool.
Right?
That's cool.
It's like the Kevin Bacon game in a way.
Yeah. I think that's the amazing thing about Twitch is that you do eventually run into someone that you've actually know in real life, or you've met in real life at least once, right? Like it's kind of interesting. Yeah. I like big words and I cannot lie. Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. Been hanging out ever since. That's so cool, Bob. Super cool. All right, let's take a moment to do some trivia. I feel like we've got a good time. But while we're doing that, feel free to put in some more questions, everybody, in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. So exclamation point question followed by your question. We'd love to get Decibel, thank you for the gifts up to Bob J. Very kind of you, my friend. Thank you so much. All right, so here we go. It's trivia time. We're gonna do questions about music. So I feel like y'all can ace this one. Let's go see and find out together. All right. Good luck, everybody. We will. If you get a question right, you both will get a point. And if the question is wrong, the chat gets a point. We will just make sure to not read the chat during the trivia. But anyone in chat, if you want to give your answers, you can on that understanding. All right, here we go. Let's go. Good luck, everybody. Let's do it. I will judge you harshly, Scotty. Oh my gosh, this is great. All right, question number 1. What are the 2 commonly used clefs in sheet music?
Treble and bass.
Got him. Out of the chute. Fantastic, Scotty. And Crrissa had it too, I'm sure. But all right, question number 2.
Where's your dad? Where's your dad? I'm just saying.
Yeah, the trivia man.
All right, let's get to our next question. I bet you can get this too. What is the best-selling music album to date?
Oh,
Thriller.
shit.
Thriller?
Yeah.
You're right.
I agree with that.
I agree with that. I feel like we've got some great expertise in the room, folks.
We actually just talked about that on my stream today. We have this thing. We have a section called the Today in Rock and Roll History, and today was the day that it surpassed whatever was number 2, like the Eagles or something like that.
Wow.
But anyway, it became the number 1. It was on December 19th, whatever it was, whatever the year.
You
was.
mean like this? Oh, that year? That's really cool. So that happened on this date. Wow.
Right.
That's cool. And it's held up. Like, that's the most amazing thing, is like it's held up like all this time. That's impressive. All right, next question. That is a really good segment, though, by the way, the This Day in Music History segment, or rock history. That's pretty cool. Which movie is often synchronized to the Pink Floyd album Dark Side of the Moon?
Oh, I know what it is.
Tell us.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, got him. 3 for 3. All
Thanks,
right.
Charissa. She's holding us down.
Well, I'm gonna give this one. Let's let Crrissa go with this one first, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Question number 4: Who is the greatest selling country artist of all time?
Jesus. Dolly or Johnny, right?
All right, let's go to Scotty. What is your answer for that?
Man, greatest selling country artist. Oh my God, it's gonna be. And again, it can't be Elvis.
Right.
Gosh, greatest selling. I'm gonna say Garth Brooks.
Really?
For selling, yeah.
Not contemporary?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready for this? You ready for this?
It's somebody like that's super old. Like I bet you.
I'm gonna be pissed. I think it's an older person.
From like the 30s.
I love all these guesses.
Like Johnny Guitar Watson or something like that.
No, I think it's what is this freaking name?
Hey, Ferry?
Not. It's gonna make me angry. Just tell us.
All right, here we
Nelson.
go. You're not gonna believe it. The answer is Garth Brooks. Scotty gets it right. Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Scotty, what the heck? Why are you so good at this?
Amazing.
I worked at a music store when I lived in LA, right? And in the middle of that time when I was there, they switched over from however they did the top whatever to SoundScan, which is actually based upon how many albums are actually selling at the time in America. And when they made that switch, they realized that Garth Brooks had 4 albums in the top 10 selling. He had 4 of his albums in the top 10. That's how many albums he was selling. It was crazy once they actually put it together.
Listen, Decibel, chat has 0 because we haven't gotten one wrong yet. You get a point when we get it wrong. Okay?
Exactly.
We got the dream team on screen right now.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Hold it down.
Right?
Let's go. Okay. Now
We're heading
here's
to a TGI Fridays tour for trivia. Let's go.
True.
It brings back memories. Like it's just, I definitely think of that TGI Fridays. Next question. Let's see how you do. Which South Korean boy band has been known has recently completed an enormous world tour? By recently, I mean like within the last 2 years.
I know.
BTS, is that their name?
It is BTS. Nicely done,
Yes.
Crrissa. Let's go.
Nice work. See, I didn't want to hog it.
Thank you.
That's good. That's good. I
Respect.
didn't want to. Yeah.
Thanks.
Here we go. We'll stay with Crrissa, see if we can get this one. What is the term for 60s British rock success in the U.S.?
Oh, something. Isn't it just like British invasion or something invasion? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
You got
That
it.
was it.
The British
That's
invasion. That was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Nicely done. Now this goes to either of you. Question number 7. Which member of the Beatles was known as the Quiet Beatle?
Ringo?
Ooh. It's either going to be Ringo. I think it's going to actually be George Harrison.
Yeah, George.
You're
I agree
right.
with that.
George Harrison is it. Got it again. 7 for 7. Well done, everybody. Oh no, wait. Well, yeah. Okay.
Is there a mercy rule involved here? Or...
Listen, you could do this all night. We would have so much fun.
I wanna see if we can sweep this. Like there are 15 questions. Let's see if we can.
Please
Absolutely.
give them to me.
Absolutely. Glad to. Yeah, this is fun. I'm glad you're enjoying it, everybody. All right, here we go. Next question. What would you say is the most well-known bluegrass group of the 90s?
Blues
Ooh.
Traveler?
Well, not
That's
blues,
Bluegrass.
bluegrass. Still a different.
Mumford and Son.
The 90s.
Yeah, 90s.
Yeah, the 90s. Bluegrass.
Bluegrass 90s.
God.
Holy hell.
It's a tough one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bluegrass.
Bluegrass.
I think Austin when I think that, and I'm trying to think of like the biggest.
Yeah. Now, Mumford & Sons is a good guess, and the chat was guessing that too. There is a correct guess in the chat. Granted, I would not advise. There is a correct guess in the chat, but there was a movie that came out during that decade that featured this group as well. Maybe that'll help as a hint.
Does not help.
Not helping? Okay. The name of the. I think we're gonna give this one to chat. Yeah.
Yeah. Give the chat. If they got it, if somebody said it.
And someone did say it. Give it up to Ferret Fawcett, by the way. Hello, Ferret. Who says Allenson Krauss and Union Station. That is correct.
Wow. Incredible. I would have not known that. And Allison Krauss comes to Austin a lot.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because I think they may have also been a thing in the 2000s. So, like, maybe I should have said 2000s too. Because, like.
Nah. That was good.
Okay. Let's go to the next question. What
That's
is the
good job by chat.
Yeah, great
Yay,
job, chat. On the board. Yeah. Saying man of constant sorrow. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Don't hint. No. I think hints are fine. As long as it's not too crazy. I don't want to give it away, but just little hints will be fine. Here comes question 9. What's the name of the film that depicts the rap group NWA?
Straight Outta Compton.
Got him. You're right.
Damn.
It's pretty good, Scotty. 8 questions.
I love that movie.
It's a great movie.
Well,
Yeah.
My favorite actor is in that movie.
Ice
Paul
Cube?
Giamatti.
Oh, that's
Giamatti.
right. That's
He
right.
plays the manager.
Yeah. Good times. All right. So next question. Which famous 2000s rapper is also a U.S. money value?
50 Cent.
You got it again. And Crrissa got it too. I heard that in the I heard that in the mix.
Yeah.
This is great. Okay. Next question. We gotta get Scotty to Jeopardy. This is good. Like this is. Which?
Yeah, but then I'll end up getting like simple mathematics, and I'll be like, right? How to pay your taxes? Oh, I pass.
Tell you
Hard
what.
pass.
To pay your taxes. Next question. Which famous New York song is performed by Jay-Z and Alicia Keys?
Empire State of Mind.
Got him. Crrissa gets it. That's great. Great poll.
Yeah.
Good stuff. think Carissa's could get this one too. Which rock subgenre features acts like Panic at the Disco, My Chemical Romance, and Fall Out Boy?
Emo.
I don't know. Is it emo?
It is emo. Scotty.
Okay, I thought it was gonna be super, super niche down. Okay, you got it, Scotty.
That was nice.
Like Screamo.
I was like, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Sorry, I was.
Alex just says, we can't type quick enough. Scotty has interest. No, I think Scotty's just got the experience. Screamo, right? All right, next question. This one, I'm gonna give this one to Crrissa specifically. What major thoroughfare in New York is known for musical theater?
Broadway?
Yeah, you got it. Broadway.
I was like, is that a trick question?
I know it did seem like a trick question, but you were right. That's it.
Okay.
Now this one's hard because who would even know this? But what is currently the most streamed song on Spotify?
Right now?
Well, I guess it would have been as of 2 years ago, so maybe that's changed, but I feel like it's still the case.
Flowers by Miley Cyrus.
Great guess.
Oh, no. I don't know it.
I would say stay along those lines, but that's not it. But you're in the neighborhood.
Because Flowers was on the top 10. It was for 10 weeks. I think it was number one.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of any other songs. The past 2 years.
Yeah. So these are cumulatively streamed songs too. So it's not just like most streamed song for a week, but like most streamed song all time.
Ever.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Weird meme song, you know?
My only guess would be Golden Hour.
Yeah,
That's
Golden
That's a
Hour
good
by
guess.
Jake.
And you know what? I might have to revise the question because maybe it is now. That's a good guess.
Golden Hour is a good one.
Yeah.
And that's been streamed a lot.
But that's more like on like TikTok than it is on Spotify.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but people
I don't
do
know.
listen to him a lot on Spotify. I mean, he has a large following on Spotify now.
Yeah. That is it's a tough one. I love all your guesses. These are great guesses.
I don't know.
Well, what is the answer?
The answer
Yeah.
is The Shape of You by Ed Sheeran.
Why? Why is that the most streamed
I don't-
one?
It was a big hit for a while.
Yes, so.
But-
But damn.
I know.
Is it
it's-
because you put it on a lot of different lists, maybe? Because it just like crosses genres really well from pop to indie?
I think so.
That's
I
the one that has the,
think
the marimba part, right?
Yeah.
Krista?
Yeah.
Gung,
Yep.
gung, 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 gung. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that one.
Yeah. That one.
Yep. Alistair says, wasn't he was number one for over 25 weeks. I believe that too. Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
wild.
Um
Wow.
Oh, did Blinding Lights take over? Yeah, I should probably keep updating this question. I'm sure this is going to
Right?
change as time goes on. I didn't think of that.
The question's like 5 years old, and he's like, "What's the most popular song today?"
All right, I might have to. I don't know if I think I already gave it to the chat, but that is no, I did not. I might have to just give it to you on a technicality because like that's technically wrong.
Give it to the
Nah.
chat.
I'll give it the chat.
give it
All
to-
right,
yeah,
I'll give it
yeah.
the chat. I'll give it the chat. All right.
Don't give us
In all-
pity points.
In all fairness, I think the chat has known most of the ones that we got right.
Yeah.
Give the chat pity points, not us.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, so we are down to one question, and the question is, which artist released the blockbuster songs "Just Dance" and "Bad Romance"?
Lady
What?
Gaga.
Are you kidding, Lady Gaga?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Ah,
What the heck?
That's some low-hanging fruit. Absolutely. Well
right?
done.
that was low hanging fruit. Lady Gaga.
Absolutely.
Right?
Gaga for sure for the win.
I'm sorry, we were looking for her proper name. No.
Lauren Benanti.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Stephanie
just-
Germanata is her actual name, I think.
Germanata, yeah. Who was Lauren Benanti? Who was Lauren Benanti? I don't know. But yeah, it is Stephanie Germanata, yeah.
You remember the Seinfeld episode when he got in the argument with the Bubba Boy about the moops when it was the Moors? That's what it kind of reminded me of that.
It says moops.
Oh no, it was the moops. It's not even funny at all that anybody hasn't seen the episode. Just Google Seinfeld moops.
Yeah.
And then you'll see the episode, and it is actually really good.
Yeah. It's a misprint. It's like, no, it says moops. And they're still fighting like 30 minutes later. Well done, friends.
Chris is like, how are you talking about?
Well done. 13 questions right out of 15, and some of those were tough. Great job, everyone.
We retire undefeated.
That's a great record. That's a great record. So,
Right.
Thank you, everybody in the chat, for participating as well. That was good stuff. Nicely done.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's fun. I like that stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, super hard questions, too, with the Lady Gaga and all that. You know?
Okay.
Low-hanging fruit.
Right?
Yeah. I mean,
No, you're gonna be harder on us next time.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, these questions are not designed for people who have so much expertise in music. So I figured you were going to do really well in that
to
category.
be fair, we are nerds.
Indeed. Respect. So nicely done.
Remember we used to get those Trivia Pursuit questions that were like, who was the assistant director in the 1932 classic Time with Me? And you're just like, never heard of the movie, never heard of the thing, never. It's like, could be anybody. And the answer was, of course, Ronald Reagan. But right,
I mean,
it just always was.
It's obvious, right? Like,
Did you know he was the #1 answer on all? Like, he had the most correct answers on all Trivia Pursuit questions. Is Ronald Reagan? He has the most
propaganda.
Like he was the most. Yeah, because
his name was the common answer on the Trivia Pursuit.
That's some subliminal shit right there. Wow,
it's true. Yep. Don't ask me how I know that.
Isn't that funny?
So
yeah. Ferret says, I used to work at a music festival where Alison Krauss performed and became friends with her. Wow, really? That's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Was it Austin City Limits? What festival was that? That's really cool.
Yeah. Decibel says, except when I hear Just Dance, I can only think of David Bowie. Yeah, I get that, because I think of that. That's when I hear those words. That's what I think too.
Neat. Farrah Fawcett.
Fest.
Cool.
North Carolina. That's cool. Muppet says, Tiny Tim's song Living in the Sunlight, Loving in the Moonlight was from a 1930 film. Ah.
Having a wonderful time. Aha!
I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're gonna get to the elephant in the room now with the next question.
Oh.
I think we know what it is. We know what the date in the calendar is. So, there is that song that's everywhere that you can't escape every holiday season. Mariah Carey song, All I Want for Christmas Is You. People have been on both sides of the song. People love it. People hate it. So let's give you this question from Muppets. Would you rather see live Mariah singing her Christmas song or Dr. Elmo singing... Oh, you mean like Elmo from Elmo and Patsy? Like that, Dr. Elmo? Singing Grandma Got... I mean, for me, the answer is obvious. Let me answer the question. Let me finish the question. Would you rather see the live Mariah singing her Christmas song or Dr. Elmo singing Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer?
I'm sorry, Muppets. I'm not going to go for the chaos with this one. I want to see Mariah do what she does really well. I'm a singer. I want to see it done with the skin flute, I want to see it done. I'm going to go with Mariah.
Co-sign that. I'm with Mariah too.
Oh,
I actually love
wow.
that song.
That's cool. Like
I love pop music. Like I don't, and there's nothing wrong with the Elmo and Patsy version, and that has its place. And there's a lot of really bad Christmas songs, and they're two good ones.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I'd
rather hear both of them than hear Paul McCartney sing his version of "Then Please Have a Wonderful Christmas."
Yes.
Oh, that's
Agreed.
Agreed.
I'd much rather see Mariah do whatever she does, because she's probably going to do it different for every live performance, and I'd love to see how she extends on it, because it's a hard heckin' song to sing.
Yeah,
it is.
This is true.
So,
I think the biggest thing here is if it was only that song, the one song that Muppet suggested, then I would side with Elmo. I love that song. It's a funny song. But if you're getting an entire concert, then Mariah, easy, right? Because then you get like her other Christmas classics. You get her other songs. That would be a great concert.
And like that woman is bizarre and like Hollywood. Like we know that.
Yeah.
It does not negate the fact that she is probably one of the most skilled instruments in our history of singing right now.
Yeah.
Like in popular music. I would love to see her do what she does. She is a product of like two classically minded. One of them is at least an opera singer. I mean, she is a freak of nature.
Yeah.
When I was a teenager, I used to be able to, you know, that thing that she does with her voice when she puts it up like that other screechy.
Yes.
That other range.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it's called. I don't even know what it's called. When I was a teenager, now this is before like puberty. I used to be able to do that screech. It was really weird, and then it went away. I can no longer do it. This is true.
That falsetto voice, yeah.
It's a weird kind of like it's more than falsetto, but it's like I don't know. I know it's an actual vocal technique. Like I've seen other like girls learn this technique, like on like.
It's a third part of your voice. It's just like the super high stuff, right? It's the stuff that it's not technically even on the core of the sound.
Right. It's an overtone.
It's kind of so
right.
That thing, right?
Right.
Yeah. Oh.
I have to open my mouth to do it because it's not even something that like you're vibrating through because it's just it's that.
It's
whistle tone.
There it is. Is the whistle tone? Is that what that's called?
Yeah, whistle tone.
Whistle tone. Whistle register. Wow, who knew? Well, chat did obviously.
Chat getting credit for it.
Right. So you get an extra 5 points for that.
There you go.
Boom.
This is great. I love the comments in the chat too.
But you know what? Mariah put that on her record. She like you never heard anything like that before, Mariah Carey.
No.
You're right.
No.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
Yeah.
You know. So she married Nick Cannon. Whatever.
Dude, like seriously, everybody who's like, oh my gosh, like this celebrity made such poor choices. It's like, bro, come on. If you are given unlimited resources and just like led through a life that they lead, what would you do? Probably not make the choices that you make in everyday life. I don't care who that girl marries. She's still a freaking phenom, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, man.
And all the top echelon female singers we've had in history have been a little bit like
screwed.
Okay. Yeah, right, exactly.
They're all sacrificial lambs to the entire existence of pop and popular media music. I mean, they all have to be slain in some volcano.
Right.
That's just how it is.
Yep.
Yes.
Celine, her, Madonna, like yeah. You know, Whitney Houston.
God, yeah, and that's a sacrificial lamb for sure.
Yeah,
she was completely tortured throughout almost her entire existence.
There's a really good documentary on her on Netflix. Yeah, that's really good. And you watch it, and you're like, damn, why'd she?
Billie Holiday, Judy Garland. I saw both.
Yeah. Good calls.
Each other, and it's like actually, one of them was taking the expensive version of the drug, and one of them taking the cheaper version of the drug, but they were taking the same drugs, and one was only being whistleblown. So
yeah.
We were listening in our now this isn't a female vocalist, but we were in our Today in Music today. They arrested the doctor he's prescribed over 10,000 pills to Elvis Presley that were done in like 30 months. And it was like 60 pills a day, like downers and uppers and stuff to get him through his 60 pills a day. That is insanity.
Maybe this is a too scary of a stretch, but the same similar amount of dosage was being given to Hitler in his last years. It's like that amount of insanity. Right. You know what I mean? Where it's like they have these people who are at the apex of their performance or whatever, like they have these mad scientists behind them because they have all the resources that they want. Right. And there's no way to know.
Yeah.
You know, if Mariah Carey is still making royalties and still making stupid decisions and stuff like that, like who cares? She made an incredible piece of music, and like if she's gonna live off that for the rest of her life, like you go, girl.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she could put something out tomorrow and we'd all go out and buy it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's fine. It's a tried and true product, but it's just that. It's a product. And if you want to make that switch of being a product rather than a person, then like the fame drug is for you, baby. But that's the whole thing. Yeah, no. And that's why I don't feel I don't feel any type of way about any singer. Like people who shit on Adele, all those people, I'm like, dude, you don't know what their career and what their life is like, and I don't deign to know, you know? Hey, Streamscribe's here.
Yeah, Carlo, good to see you. Now,
Hey, Carlo.
Carlo has had the privilege of interviewing Crrissa last week as well. So, big time. It was great to see you, Carlo. The Streamscribe, go give our friend a follow. Streamscribe says, I'm sitting here struggling to get one dose of Muon Haro, and Ellis has 59 extra on lock and on standby. Jealous.
A day.
Yeah, every day.
A day. that's like 5 pills an hour.
That's crazy.
That you're while you're awake. Like
honestly, that's a full-time job. That is a full-time job to be medicated. That is wild to me.
Yeah.
That is wild to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I got angry when I had to take blood thinners and I was like fighting to get off those. It's like, anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. Where's our soapbox?
Carla also says Mariah gets a pass on all the crazy. How could she possibly stay sane in that tenure of that freaking industry? Valid. Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw what happened with Britney. Shit.
There's
Valid.
another one. Screw loose.
Yeah.
How could she not?
Right?
Yeah.
Even if she had pre-existing mood disorder, how could she not?
I read this article about Shakira and she only really had that one really huge song, but then they worked her so much she needed surgery on her back because she was constantly doing their whole shaking her thing.
Gaga, it has like a weird dialysis thing that she's like doing with her blood and stuff. I mean, all of them. Like they have these weird doctors that are just like, let's keep these assets alive as long as we can. It's like,
right?
oh, what's happening? We're living in strange times, chat. We're living in strange times.
Right.
Yep. Oh yeah. Let me see.
And yet Keith Richards is still with us.
Well, that's the strangest thing of all. I mean, he is a triumph. Keith Richards.
He's made a pact with somebody.
He's still averaging
some
60
low
pills
level
a day.
has made a pact with him. I don't know who it is.
I
He has
don't.
a book.
It's hard. Seriously, when you see people like David Bowie leave us, and I thought he was gonna live forever, and Keith Richards keeps on chugging. I love it. Like it's crazy.
Wild.
Let's see anything else in the chat. There were a lot of comments in the chat during that question. Efot says, "Worst Christmas song?" By the way, great to see you, that Efot guy. Give our friend that Efot guy a follow. Another really talented friend of ours. If it hasn't been said yet, easily Dominic the Donkey. Needless to say, there was not a unison agreement in the chat, but I love the comment. Let's see. Alistair says, I would rather listen to a song about sausage rolls nowadays than which song? The Mariah song, but she is an amazing artist, however, which is absolutely the thing. Like I think that's the thing that sticks with me. Christmas Shoes is the worst. I mean, Christmas Shoes is complicated. Like, yeah, I don't.
Andrew, when you hear it for the 5th time in a year.
Yeah, I think
first time it's magical.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of the Christmas songs that are out there they're good, but they can't survive being put in heavy rotation on the same station like all day and everywhere you go. You're like, all right, well, this song is not like we don't know any songs in pop music that you can hear like 9 times a day, like other than these Christmas songs. It's amazing how they do it. And, they have to be really good in order to be on that heavier rotation. Like Christmas Story is a good enough of a movie. You could just leave it rolling constantly for a day.
Yep.
Christmas Story 2, not so good.
Right.
Have you seen the recent Christmas Story one that came out, though?
No.
Highly recommend. Very good movie. It's really sweet.
Ah.
Yes. They filmed it they decided to do it after they went to the funeral of the dad that when the actor that played the dad died. They got together at his funeral and they said, let's just make one more for the dad.
Oh, hell yeah. That's
and it has almost all the original cast too. It's not like it's not like Vacation where they just had like a bunch of different people. But it's really sweet. It's not as good as the first one, obviously. That's a classic, but it's really good. Recommend. Come on, somebody in chat co-sign that with me. Let's go.
Let's
Somebody
go.
else has seen it. Red Girl
Um,
is with me on it. Let's go.
I like it. Let's keep catching up in chat. Alistair UK. Now you're talking. I would do anything to meet Celine Dion. She melts any man's heart. Yeah, 1000%. Another icon. Let's see. Anything else? Well, somebody asked Decibel, how do you even consume 60 pills a day? Yeah, we broke down the math. It's just hard to believe. MRI doesn't work at all because of all the royalties she makes from her own Christmas song. Yeah, legit. Like, she makes 20 million just for that song in November, December?
Girl, like, live your life. Money is a construct. Whatever. Like,
your body couldn't take it if you had 60 aspirin in a day.
It's true. It's true.
You're not wrong. Mine could not.
Right? Like, just think about that.
Cannot compete with that. No, thank you. Don't want ulcers.
Right.
Yeah. Incredible. But yeah, wait, Streamstripe says, I beg to differ. I once listened to Dream On Music's Rebel Soul on repeat, one with my wife on a weekend getaway to Vermont, and with my wife, and I do it again. Oh, it's like the same song over and over and over? That's pretty cool. Yeah, well, that's a
cool.
it's a great song, to be fair, but I don't know. You do have to have an exceptional song to be listened to it that many times.
Sure. So there's songs like that they don't wear out on you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Earworms that take you back to a certain place and time. Heck yeah. Right now, my vibe song is Slow Song by Dragonette, I think is the name of the band. I am listening to that on repeat, bro. It's so good. It's such a vibe. Such a heckin' vibe. I love that song. I listen to it over and over, and I never get sick of it because of the way that the woman that's singing phrases stuff in it. It's so neat, and she like does these lines that are just really kind of like unexpected as far as the harmonies. I don't know, man. I just like it. It's a bop. It's a bop. That's one of my repeats right now that I can listen to 1,000,000 times, and I would never get sick of it. Never.
Yeah, I love all these choices too. Stream Scrap. I'm on a throwback high right now with Dream Academy's Life in a Northern Town. Remember that?
That's awesome, Stream Scribe.
Yeah.
I used to play that for a cup of coffee in my stream. I did that song like 3 times.
Ooh.
Like, I love that song.
Good stuff. Yeah, it's a vibe for sure. Do it, Scotty. Do it. Says yeah. Let's see. Muppets.
Frankenstein remembers when I did it.
Oh wow, that's cool, Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Muppet says I listen to the real group song I sing. You sing at least 20 times a day. Wow.
I don't doubt that. I do not doubt that. Muppets be taking 60 pills of a song. Do not doubt that.
That is
Muppets
wild.
is the exception. I do not doubt that.
Right?
I can't think what a song would come close to that for me. I'm trying to think. Like I don't know. I mean, there's songs I listen to over and over again, but that's hey, listen, that's cool that you like a song that much. I mean, I think it's great. It's great. Man, so good. Okay, let's see. Let's get to the question some more. So Steeman with a question to Scotty's Makes Music, although this can go to Crrissa too. What inspires you? Where's your music direction driving you?
Ooh, man. What inspires me is something that I hear, and if it's different, but it still grabs me. And and it comes from like all places. Like you hear like some of the pop songs are like really good, and they just grab you. And there's something maybe in a lyric or just in like Chris says, the earworm. I like that. I really get inspired when I hear an amazingly written song. And there's a lot of songcraft, and there's also a lot of production craft that goes on in today's music, because the songs aren't really as complex now as they were like say 10, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, especially. So they're a lot simpler now, so they have to be produced differently. But every once in a while something comes together and you get all the different parts in a row, and that's what inspires me. And that's what I'm always chasing when I'm sitting down and writing my songs.
I love that. I do. Crrissa?
Honestly, I am really heavily inspired by human interaction, and a lot of my songs, especially on the first album that I created, are very heavily steeped in mood disorder and dealing with people that have mood disorder, being on the sidelines, walking on eggshells, having a mood disorder yourself, seeing people you love go through them. So I am heavily inspired and heavily express myself through human interaction and human psychology.
Wow. Yeah,
Nice.
that's awesome. Yeah. I've also mesmerized by your headphones too, just not related to anything, but
They're meze, so they're black or not black walnut. They're like a dark walnut color, but this is actually wood, and I splurged on them because I was like, if I'm gonna wear these for every stream, I'm gonna splurge on them. So I've had them for like two and a half years, maybe 3 years. I like splurged in the beginning on them.
Yeah, that's pretty clutch. Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, Bosh.
I think I should bedazzle my headphones.
You should.
Do we still have that? Do we still
Oh yeah,
have
you can absolutely do that. Go
Yeah.
to Hobby Lobby, get yourself some.
bedazzler kit?
Yeah,
That'd be good.
absolutely.
If I'm gonna wear them every day.
You know what you could do? You could put a little tiny gem for every single subscriber that you get.
Oh my gosh.
You're welcome.
Do it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, yeah. See, yeah.
Welcome.
I mean,
Could you imagine?
Yeah, I can. Do
Yeah,
it.
I know, that's actually really good.
that's a great idea, Crrissa. Like that's
Oh,
I don't mess around, man.
right? Could you imagine? Craig could say, could you imagine, like all of a sudden, like in the middle of a song, like all like the beads and stuff just start coming off the parts and stuff, and there's just like a pile of beads like from me rocking away.
it's so fun.
I do. I'm used to loud music, so.
Word up. Steven, thank you for the question. I want to thank everybody for your questions tonight. Let's go take one last round of questions and we'll go wrap things up tonight. So last call for questions. I'll give you all about a minute or two to get those questions in, and then we'll say our goodnights. Let's see. This next question is from Up at Stooges Fan 1. The question is, Mary Poppins or Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Mary Poppins. Hands down.
I would agree, except man, I love that song Shitty Shitty Bang Bang though. I can still sing it. You know. Yeah. So that's an earworm. Well, I'll actually a lot of the Sound of Music ones. I don't know. There's a bunch that are like that, but a lot of earworms came from that style of music.
Yeah.
Mary
So,
Poppins. Hands
yeah.
down.
I think when you think about the visual wizardry involved in Mary Poppins, I'm probably going to side with that too. But both of them are really good movies. Both of them are really classics, right?
It's because of the music for me, and it's because of Mary Poppins, and the woman who plays her is just an icon. So
Right.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Oh, 100%.
Wait, did we have Dick Van Dyke in both of those movies?
Yes.
was he in both?
I believe so. That's why I think that's why
How
Muppets
about
asked the
that?
question. Yeah.
Dick Van Dyke for the win. Let's
Yeah,
go.
100%. Hey, E flat. That's rad. Look at this. I can still spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Incredible.
Did you see that? There's a video of the Dapper Dans at Disneyland in California singing for actually Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, that's neat.
It tears your heart, and they're singing something from one of his movies, and you're like, oh, that is so good. And he's just like super old in a wheelchair and just like loving it. It was
Aw.
awesome. You can look that up. I don't even know where it is, but I've seen it on the internets.
Yes.
I love this. Okay, we're gonna close the queue. Thank you so much for sending that last batch of questions. And I'm gonna save Alistair's question for the end. Well, I don't know. I mean, I do want to put. I think this is a great idea. So we'll go ahead and we'll put that together too, because Alistair's question is, do we get to hear a song? Absolutely. I've been saving it for this moment.
Oh.
So why don't we? But first, let me just get the two quickies, and then we'll go to the song. First, let's get the Decibels question. Best song.
I saw that too, Decibel, the Cher song. That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah, that was really good.
Oh wow.
There's another singer.
Oh
that,
yeah.
Like, talk about
iconic. One of the thing about Cher is that there's nobody else that sounds like her. Like no one comes close, right? Like her voice
Nobody in popular music.
Yeah,
She's
right.
Right?
Yeah. That's a good question.
She had a very, very singular voice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And without being like bad singular, it was just good, but just different. It was like kind of cool.
100%.
Axl Rose.
Yeah.
Except I don't know.
So the video of Albert Lambert singing one of Cher's songs at an event in her honor, that is such a meta moment. Like that's very cool. Yeah. That is pretty neat. All right, so let's keep on rolling. So Decibel's question: best song from Wizard of Oz.
Bro, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. That song functions so well, and it starts on an octave jump. And what other song do we have that's that iconic that has a huge jump like that? What, Take On Me by Aha, which is a minor seventh or some kind of seventh? A full octave right off the bat. And here's the thing, it's also the first line is a testament to what kind of singer you are. If you can do that in one breath, you're a trained singer.
Wow. That's great. I love the sentiments.
Pass.
That's acceptable. Take it.
No, I co-sign that. She's right.
I think
she's totally right. Totally right.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not going to challenge that at all. The only thing I'll add is that I think that Take On Me starts in a B minor ninth.
Really? No. I mean the big interval, the one that
in the chorus.
Oh, okay.
That.
Okay, yeah.
That one, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's a huge jump.
It's a seventh of some kind. That's all I know.
Yeah. That's a big jump for sure. I can't do it. I know you can, but I can't. I couldn't sing that. Is that on your song list, Crrissa?
Yes.
Oh man, I'm requesting that shit next time for sure. I can't wait to hear that. Like that's gonna be great. You too, Scotty. I'd love to hear you do that tune.
Take On Me.
Yeah. Good stuff.
We did it with the band for like all those years. So we did the ska version of it from Real Big Fish.
Oh, neat.
Oh, I love that tune. Yeah, that's good too.
That would function so well as a ska song.
It is.
Yeah. Well, remember when Save Ferris did "Come On Eileen" as a ska song? Like that was great. That was a good one. That was a good cover.
The band that I work with, we started out as a ska band and then just became a regular cover band. I joined after they got out of the ska phase. They did the ska and swing and all that kind of stuff, and they rode that. But then it started going down, and then it became a regular cover band.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. What were the most popularly requested songs of that era? Scotty has a checkered past, Frankenstein. It's great.
Well, back then there was that was like the big thing was to do like the punk and the ska covers of everything. We had Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. They won like all those like great songs.
I love those guys are Me First and the Gimme Gimmes are like one of the best like ska cover bands of the era, right? Like
ever. Right.
Yeah, ever is fair. Ever is fair. Completely valid.
Damn.
Yeah. Decimal says I kind of hate ska because it's insanely boring to do lighting for. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm a big ska guy myself as well. I now want a Christmas album of entirely ska. Well, it exists. It exists. I think either they did it or the Vandals did like something kind of like that. I think it exists. I'm not sure. I'll double check. But anyway, thank you for your question.
E Flat Guy, you know the one of the horn players from Real Big Fish is on Twitch.
No way.
Whoa.
Yeah. Jeff Koppelman or something like that.
Dude, don't tell me that.
Man. He's a Twitch. At least he was. I mean, like he's just. I've run into him over the years, but yeah, I think he still is.
Scott Koppelman.
Scott, there it is. Yep. That's it. Yep, Scott.
Gibson,
not Jeff.
good to see you, by the way.
Thank you.
What up?
Thanks for the save, Gibson Lens. I knew he was on here, but yeah, he's from Real Big Fish.
That is cool.
That guy.
Oh, whoops. I meant to Scott Kaufmanstein. Excuse me, but I guess you wouldn't mind an extra shout out. But oh, that's great. Hey, Robbie, what's going on, Robbie? Golly, it's good to see you, Robbie, as well. Hello, Robbie. Welcome in. Scott is cool. Absolutely. All the Scots are cool. I've not met a Scott that's on Twitch yet that is not cool. Like every Scott I know is pretty cool. So
It's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair. And there's a lot too.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's like 8 Scots in Atlanta Manny's community.
Weird.
There is.
Like,
I'm just saying.
Scots.
It's true though.
That is true.
Great Scott. She collects Scots.
Right?
It's quite right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll lurk on her stream, and then she's like, "Hey, Scott," blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "What? Is she talking to me?" No. It's one of the other 8 Scots in the chat.
Arg Scott, right? Isn't that one of them? Like Arg Scott? And
Yes.
then
There's a harem of Scots.
Yeah.
Incredible.
There's a bunch.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's so good.
Too many Scots.
I'm gonna do one last question. We did close the queue, and then we're gonna play the song, and then we'll vibe out. Steven's will be the last question of the evening, which is, if you could serenade your mentor. Wait, when you say mentor, do you mean like your? Because mentor is like someone who actually
idol or like teach, like senpai, or
right.
Like, what is this? What kind of mentor is this?
Right.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, do you mean like the person that you really grew up liking, like your? I wouldn't say idol per se, but your inspiration. If you could serenade that person, I'm not sure if that's what you meant, Steven, or if you literally meant like someone who mentored you when you were going through life.
Yeah, specify first, because that's a very different performance, friend.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Decibel says my brother's middle name is Scott. Wow, look at that.
Scots,
That's
get
cool.
him out.
I'm just saying. My middle name is actually Scott. It's not my first name is not Scott.
Oh, interesting.
I go by my middle name.
True. How about that? We've learned a lot about you tonight. This is great. You build.
Well, yeah.
Oh, well, you did checkered pass, I guess, but.
No, I don't care.
No. Let's see. Sniper, so good to see you tonight. Hello there. Your parents need.
It's not Scott.
Not Scott. So, well, let's see if Steeman might have that for us. But say you could serenade your hero, like who?
Let's do hero.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, let's go with that. All right, Crrissa.
So, what was the actual question? Is it could you? What song would it be?
Yes.
How would you do it?
Correct.
Like,
so if you could serenade your, let's say, musical hero, what song would you choose?
So my musical hero from the time when I was a little girl has been and was crystallized as Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson was the first singer that I looked to that I was like, holy chicken nuggets, this woman is incredible. She's amazing. And I want to be everything that she is. And so if I were going to sing Kelly Clarkson a song, I would sing her Because of You. Because I think I sing it the best. I think I would be able to show the emotion the best. And I think I would do a good homage to what she has in her career and how it's inspired so many other people.
Oh, I love that. I want the video of that too. Like, I would love to see that. I mean,
right?
There's got to be tears. I mean, that's going to be...
that song, it's generational trauma.
Yeah.
And that's like the crux of what I write about.
That's cool. I love the canon.
Unfortunately, most of my musical mentors that made me get into music are either, like, for example, one of my biggest people that got me into music was Geddy Lee from Rush, because I played bass back then, and I wanted to be Geddy Lee from Rush. Rush was like the highest of, they said the head of the table back then when I was coming up, and like everything I would learn, I had perfect picks and exit stage left, and I just learned how to play bass from that. And so that's why I'm a musician today for somebody like him. So I don't know if I would serenade him, and nor would he appreciate it if I sang for him, but I would love to shake his hand and just thank him. But or just sit there and jam with him playing bass. I think that would be amazing. But then the other guys that came along, like, Elliott Smith has passed away, Eddie Van Halen's passed away, all that kind of thing. So, like, there's a lot of my mentors that started up for me are no longer with us, but that sort of thing.
I think that would be a pretty great day. Just hanging out with Geddy Lee for a day would sound like a great day to me.
Right?
Yeah.
He just came here promoting his book tour, and I couldn't go because I had to work. But,
I feel your pain.
he was just in Philadelphia, and a friend of mine's like, "Do you want to go?" And I'm like, "Yeah," but I didn't.
Well, hopefully another chance will come around. I gotta say hello to a couple really awesome people. Horror host Joe, so good to see you. Bass Boombox has joined us. What's up, Bo? It's great to see you. Shout out Bass Boombox. Welcome in. Our good friend, another really, really talented singer, folks. Give our friend a follow. And D Sharp guy. Nicely done, Decibel. Decibel gifted a tier 1 sub to that D Sharp guy.
I bet it is Frankenstein.
Oh my goodness. And by the way, anybody trying to spread myself supporting everyone. Oh, that's kind, Bo. By the way, if you have a question for Scotty Makes Music or Crrissa the Cyberbard, we'd love to take it. Yeah, I love it. I'm halfway through the book. Oh, is there a book? Frankenstein? Is there a Geddy Lee book?
Geddy Lee's book. He just wrote a book called My Freaking Life, and yeah.
Oh, I love this question.
So yeah, it just came out. That's why he's on a book tour right now promoting his book.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
So.
Oh yeah, he would have great stories. There's no doubt. Yeah. Bass Boom. Scotty, will you, here's a question from Bass Boombox. Scotty, how are you so cool?
Go fish. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'm cool. I don't know.
All right. Well,
it's my long silvery locks. I don't know what it is.
Oh my goodness. Well, this has been really
cool.
This has been really
catching up.
Yeah, absolutely. All the talented knowledge this guy. Well, we have this. Both of you have been really. Another thing I should mention is that, Crrissa, you also have really good production chops too. Because when I've seen you do collab spots, I've noticed you've had backing tracks already prepared for your songs, and even on stream you do this too, right? So that seems like a really good thing you've got. Now you said you had a 505 looper.
Yeah, I have an RC 505 that I use.
That's the thing, yeah, because they have like a 505-thon that they did one time, so that's pretty cool. What other tools do you use to to do backing tracks? Do you go through?
To put all the skins and effects on my stuff live, I use MainStage, but I primarily use Logic Pro for everything that I do production-wise.
Okay. Let's see. Decibel says, I don't know how you could go on tour and not have great stories. I haven't been on tour and have some awesome stories from doing sound and lighting. Yeah, that's fair. We are getting all these questions all of a sudden. I think we can throw this in here. It's kind of like the people want an encore, you finish your set and it's like they keep clapping and you've got to come back out and do an encore. So, all right, we'll do an encore question. Absolutely. Goro, thank you so much for joining us. I love your question. The question is, who is one person from your life? Hold on, let me read this. Make sure this is good. Let me just make sure I've got this.
Yeah, you gotta make sure it's not slander.
Right. I don't know. That's an interesting question. All right, we'll try this. Who is one person from your life who may still be alive, but you're not related to? So someone you're not related to, that you lost contact, that if you could snap your finger, they would be at your door. So, and he says, and Goro says, it could be Tim from grade school, never paid you back for the cafeteria lunch that one time, as an example. Let's go to Crrissa.
I know exactly who that is. It is my high school musical theater and crossover teacher. Her name was Molly. And I had her for all, I believe, 5 years, maybe 4 years off and on. She was the most prolific teacher I ever had, and she taught me everything that there is to know about belting and crossover music and how to transfer my voice in a way that was so wonderful for my voice type. And I still use the stuff that she uses every single day when I teach. And that woman is so heckin' busy. I have tried to get in contact with her so many times as an adult, and I just want to sit down with her for coffee and be like, what was I like as a high schooler? Tell me your opinion of me, because now I am a voice teacher and I teach people like myself, and I just want to know what I was in her studio and what kind of student I was.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
That's awesome. I don't know if I have somebody like that.
It's me. I'll be your door.
Right. That would be awesome.
That'd be a good answer.
That would upgrade everybody that I actually thought about for the answers to the question. I'm like, somebody shows up on my door, I'm gonna be like, oh god,
like, let's go.
Oh, let's go.
Exactly. Right.
Let's throw in a couple more encore questions. So, bass boombox for Crrissa. Have you tried the loop function in Logic? I'm messing around with it now. Music is all new to me.
So awesome that music is new to you. I followed you, a bass boombox. I saw your Twitch, and I saw you got that full piano. Your setup looks great. I use Logic Pro for the pre-constructed loops if I want to lay down something musically that I don't really know where it's going to start. So I'll use their pre-made loops every once in a while. But I don't use the looping function on Logic. I like using my RC505, which is roughly like $550. That's something that was funded by my community. I love this tool because it's like a Fisher-Price toy to me. The buttons are all very, very clear. I know when I'm supposed to start and stop the loop. It has 5, levels for me to do that. And for me, as a visual person, this RC505 is my safe haven when it comes to looping. It's what I know how to use because it's very like user friendly. I don't use looping in Logic, and I don't use looping in my DAW because I'd much rather be a tactile thing for me in particular.
Yeah, I love, and there are definitely a lot of different ways you can go about it, and that's a pretty solid strategy, I'm sure. And so, let's see. Bo says, "Yeah, I understand. It's way easier. That's fair. It does seem a little complicated." Absolutely. I've always wondered what the differences were. Like, what's the difference between a 505 and a 606? And
I don't know.
101.
There you go.
Even I knew that.
That's a hell of an answer. I love it.
Jeez.
I'll give you like 10 extra points for that.
Points for Gryffindor.
I love it. I love it.
The hundreds number is how many stacks there are to loop with, right? You have 5 stacks, right? On the 505, Crrissa? Right. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. Because I know there's
I had a 202 that had 2 stacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Says, and he says he can't math. There you go. Yeah, that's true. Just did it right there.
What's up, Tijin?
Hey, Tijin. Welcome in. You said it's only $150? Like, what was only $150?
This RC505 was $550.
Oh, $550. Yeah. Okay. Right on. Yeah, and then I think as the numbers go up, the prices go up a little bit too, because I think the 600 or 606 was like 700 or so. From what I saw, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it just has more features and buttons.
Oh, definitely. Thank you. Oh, thank you for the follow, Tijin. Thank you so much. Yeah. Follow up from Decibel. What do you mean by transfer your voice, Crrissa?
Transfer my voice. I don't. In what context did I say that in? Can anybody refresh my memory what I said that for? Transfer my voice.
When you're calling customer service and they say, "Can I?"
Oh, my voice teacher. Oh, okay. I would like to know, like how, like, I want to know how I am as a student, right? And so, like, for me, it's like, was I the super, super organized kid that had everything, like, right, like, that was super neurotic? Was I, like, the kid that, like, didn't show up and do their work and then just was still, like, gifted and talented? Like, I want to know, right? And she just helped me transfer a lot of those skills and stuff like that. So I would like to know, like, I know how the sausage is made as a voice teacher professional. I want to know how it was made on her side with me in regards, so that I get a fuller picture. But what you said, transfer your voice. Oh, she helped me transfer my voice from being a fully classical singer to being a crossover singer to doing. I just use that as a transformative word. I didn't use the word transfer or transform as like a vocal technique. Just like she just legit helped me figure out how to use my voice for pop and jazz and musical theater. That's it.
I got you. Well, it has been. That sounds like a great journey, and it's cool to see where you both are now, friends. This has been great. Thank you so much. Now, for Alistair UK, and something I was planning either way, but Alistair asks, "Do we get to hear the song?" The song is called "Naughty Kids Deserve Christmas Too," by our two friends, Scotty Makes Music and Crrissa the Cyberbard. Absolutely. Let's go give it a listen. And y'all, let's go vibe out as we play this tune. It's great. I hope this comes through for you all in the Zoom. But for everyone in the chat, let's enjoy.
Well, here goes nothing. Dear Santa, I am writing sincerely to you. I hope this gets delivered before the year is new. I'm not saying I've been perfect, but I don't know what to do. 'Cause naughty kids deserve Christmas too.
I saw the TikTok of your fight, and I totally can relate. That Andy had it coming. The kids use nicknames that I hate. And I recall when I was your age, before I donned the red, Denny Luco called me fatty.
He called you fatty?
So I punched him in the head.
You punched him in the head?
Yup.
So I punched him in the head. So remember every Christmas when the silver bells will chime, standing up to that one bullying isn't quite a crime. After all the years for precious and all the sins accrue, naughty kids need a Christmas, naughty kids need a Christmas, naughty kids need a Christmas, naughty kids need a Christmas too.
Amazing. Thank you. That was a great song. Great. Well done. Can we give a round of applause?
Thank you, Decibel.
Decibel says, oh, I can't remember if I had the chance to say this, but your Santa vocals on this is amazing. Absolutely.
Krista actually helped me do that. Like she actually kind of coached me because I don't know anything about singing. I know a lot about a lot of other things in rock and roll, but I don't know a lot about singing. That's how that came up. And so she's like, oh, then make your voice more round and coming from your chest. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I sound like this. And it was like unbelievable.
Yeah.
So the other thing I wanted to point out that was really cool and what made this thing awesome for me is when we did Carissa's vocals, we did it on a Zoom call, like together. So I'm watching her as she's singing her parts. And she made every one of the faces that she just did right there as we were doing it. And so I'm sitting here, I'm listening to her nail her parts, and she's like, she's got that look, and their face actually matches the character that she's doing, and it was actually really, really an amazing experience just to watch.
Super fun. I really
it was, it was really cool. It was really cool. I don't know. That's just a moment that only I'm ever gonna have, but it was just like really cool to have that moment. So.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I've had such a blast absorbing and your anecdotes from from what has been a super fun time. Like that's really, really great. Let me catch it. Efot says, was there a recorder mixed in for the last note? Yes, that was a recorder. Like when you blow into a recorder.
If you blow a recorder hard enough, it squeaks like that, and it's super annoying. But anybody that's been in a room full of like tiny kids with a bunch of recorders knows that sound. I actually my son had a train whistle when he was little because his grandfather was a train engineer, and it was one of the little wooden train whistles. And I went in the attic and I looked for it for like hours and I couldn't find it, but then I ended up finding the recorder. And I'm like, you know what? I can get the note I want out of this thing. I know I can do it. And the first thing you do is you put the recorder on upside down, so the embouchure is backwards.
Wild. Huh.
I didn't know about that. That is interesting.
Nope. It is. It's not here. Well, I'm not gonna. We don't need to do that. But I was like, there it is.
No, understandable. Yeah. So, folks, that's great. And Basement Box, thank you for your kind comments too. I mean, it really sounds. I mean, it's Basement Box is so awesome, and it really sounds like a kid. Yeah, your kid voice is really good, Crrissa. Like that's very, very.
I do it for a part-time living. I also do voices for a kids show on YouTube.
That's right. So you tell us a little bit about the YouTube show.
It's called Kote TV. It was originally in Russian, and I am the official English voice. The gig was given to me by Barina V Music, and I am Kote, the singing orange cat. And we have like over 100 videos up now and over 1 million subscribers on that channel.
Wow. Let's go. Let's go. Job. That's great.
Pretty wild. I really love it. It's lovely.
Big time props, Crrissa. We got a question from Bo who asked.
Imagine Decibel.
Yeah, wait. Oh, Decibel is much harder to do voice effects without making the faces and putting that kind of emotion into it. Yeah. I feel that. But yeah, the question about the album, it's right here. Go ahead and it's on Bandcamp. Check it out, everybody. And all proceeds from purchases of the album will go to Doctors Without Borders, I believe is the name of the organization. Mm-hmm. So it's all for a good cause. Definitely check it out, everybody. A lot of really talented people are on this album. And so this is one of roughly 24. I think it was 22 officially.
It was 24, and then 25th one was the official song for the Christmas Collabamajig. But I mean, this album has raised over $30,000 this year.
Very give it up for all of you, and both of you are part of that, of course. Really, really great. Yeah, Decibel, I recommend that. Check out the rest of the album. Incredibly good music on it. Like definitely.
It's as good as you would think it would be.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and yep, absolutely. So, right. Friends, thank you again. Like this has been. I really appreciate taking time out to share your stories of both the making of this song and your experiences doing music and streaming on Twitch and everything. Happy holidays! Thank you so much for doing this, everybody.
Dude,
glad we could come by.
Pleasure. This is a pleasure, and you've made this such a pleasure, and you're such a wonderful host. So thank you. And I will try to be in your chat more often because you rock. You're super fun.
Well, right? I'm looking forward to being in your all's chat more often too because y'all rock too. Like your channels are really, really fun. And
Chris and I are going to come to the next one so we can even out the trivia thing.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, we'll come in and be the big fish in the chat.
Yes, I would love that. Y'all being in the chat, getting points for the chat. That's a great idea. I love it.
Right. Put her dad on as a guest, and then we'll go against him.
Oh, yeah. Let me know.
I just said it. That's right. I said it.
Let's go.
Listen, my dad's a monster.
That's gonna be an epic trivia. I would love.
Right.
Let me know if you can get your dad to be a fun show. Thank you, Alistair. Merry Christmas to you too. I appreciate it. Christmas is right around the corner for.
He's on it.
What happened?
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. Okay. All right. We'll talk. Let's go.
Crrissa, we should work this out. Like seriously, like on your stream.
Yeah.
Like,
I would love to do trivia. I'm such a big trivia nerd.
Right.
Seriously, we're gonna make it happen at some point.
Right. We gotta see. This is we can't let this just float out into nothingness.
If
So.
if you're willing to add one more, our mutual friend Mandy Prater would also be really good at music trivia, like that.
I've seen her, but I haven't seen her stream as much as I should have. But I've seen her around.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Cool. Yeah, we could make like a whole Zoom room thing and just go
Right.
go crazy
yeah,
with
tournament, just a giant
Right.
tournament of like trivia.
Right.
I have
Right.
an entire stack of random obscure opera trivia.
Right.
Just
Oh,
throw in there to mess with y'all too.
It'll be like the Hungry Musician games.
yeah. Mhm.
the Hungry
Right.
Musician
The
game.
Hungry
Like
Musicians.
a tournament.
Oh,
Good
oh.
one. AP channel.
Oh, thank you for stopping by. Have a great rest of your night too. Thank you so much. Go follow Bass Boombox, everybody.
Yes. I already followed.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, I know Bo.
Yeah,
We know Bo.
Bo knows. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely take care. And by the way, have a great holidays as well, everyone. May the chords be in your favor. That's great.
That's right.
That's terrific. I love that line. That's a good one.
That's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
The
it. That's-
chords have- That's really good, actually.
yeah. Quality decibel. Yeah. Keep me in the loop on the trivia situation. I got the time next month.
You're the ref.
I'll think about it. I'll think about it,
Okay.
and I'll think about how we can loop it all in together and make some kind of like music trivia kind of thing. 'Cause that would
Yeah.
be really, really fun.
That'd be
'cause I
fun.
really love music trivia a lot.
Oh,
Right.
I know you said you
Yeah,
could go
that
all
would be
night.
fun.
We could definitely
We can
do
bring
this.
Davey in to ensure impartiality. You know. So
I
be the
think
rules
Davey should
official.
be our ref. Davey
right.
should be our ref. Muppets should be some of our questions.
Mhm.
Right.
You're definitely gonna be a contender. I'm gonna be a contender, and we're also
Right.
gonna get yeah. Like yes.
Right.
So message me afterwards and remind me to actually make that a thing, and we can make it a thing.
Oh, let's go.
Right.
Yeah. And I love
Right.
that your dad will be involved in this. That is going to be
Yeah.
a heck of a panel. Heckin' good. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, friends. Can we give some a shout out to our mods? And I hope you're having, hope you happy holidays to all our mods out there. Some mod love, everybody. And and give yourselves a hand too. Pinball also. Thank you for the 143 bits earlier in the stream. Big time shout out to Pinball as well. Dead Girly, Horror Hosto, Bob J. I learned that you're besties with Crrissa. I didn't even know that. That's pretty cool. That's great. Thank good interviews. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Pinball. Thank you, 330.
The more you
330.
know.
Holy cow, 330. It's good to see you, my friend. All right, let's go raid. I've got an idea for a raid destination. I think it would make a lot of sense. There are actually, because my thought process is let's go raid someone who was also on the album, and I think this will work. But if you have other suggestions, friends, specifically with Scotty and Crrissa, if you have other suggestions, I would be glad to entertain them. Just let me know.
Who's from the album on here?
I see 2 people from the album for sure. There might be one other, but
Maybe is one of them.
Calvin Thomas is on.
Calvin.
Yeah.
Honestly, Calvin's gonna be my choice. I just love the heck out of that dude. He just rocks.
yeah. Oh
He's
wow,
just
Bob. I
Great human.
He was one of the first streamers that I liked when I first came on the Twitch. He was like that first week when you're just discovering everybody,
Mhm.
and I literally watched him until my phone ran out of battery.
Really.
oh wow. That's
I can
legit.
see
was-
that.
I see that
Yeah.
too.
So yep.
Well, let's do it. I do hope you have a wonderful, next couple of weeks. I hope the holidays are good to you both. Thank you so much for all you do. Let's go do the raid. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow with the stream as well. Probably gonna do some mini golf on the stream tomorrow, and then you all have been great. If you miss any part of this, you got the VOD coming up here on Twitch, and we'll also put that on YouTube tomorrow. Thank you so much, and I love the call. Let's go meet our good friend Calvin Thomas Music. And it's just in case you're not already following Calvin, go follow Calvin, because Calvin is amazing. Like, it's a great call. And also, Calvin had a tune on the Christmas Collabamajig Originals album. So definitely a good place to be. Friends, thank you so much. We're gonna go right over there. Here are the raid calls. Go ahead and copy them. Don't worry about how they look. They will appear right once you get to once you get over to the channel, so there they are. You know how we do. Thank you so much. Decibel, holy cow, 6 months. Decibel, you're really kind tonight. Thank you so much for the 6 months advanced resub. My goodness, that is so generous of you. I appreciate you. Come on back, Decibel. It's so good to see you. Friends, thank you much. Take care. All the best. And we'll see you at Calvin Thomas Music. Take care, everybody. And thank you again, Crrissa and Scotty. You all have been great. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having us.
Got it. Oh, Forks, thank you so much for joining us, too. We'll see you at Calvin's. Thank you, everybody.